You are now fixated on the finest quality of educated and opinionated brothers, black brothers, who take the free time you most have generously donated to us and curate a channel free of fuckery or bullshit and write with wisdom and insight. We turn spoils to royal, we turn doodles to murals, we turn dollars to euros, weed to florals, or florals to weed, whatever you need. We proceed to give you these
and many, many more motherfucking episodes.
What's going on? It's your boy Nikki Duce, a.k.a. Mr. No Disrespect, a.k.a. the Prince of Party, a.k.a. the Duke of Dance. Shout out to, what is that, Low Down Dirty Shame? Yeah, that's my favorite, one of my favorite movies. Yeah, this is No Disrespect. How y'all doing?
You a dirty shame. That's what the hell you are. Saying that bullshit.
To my baby, I'm back in town.
That was gross.
That nigga like he busted a nut.
That's how you know it's the season's changing. This nigga getting sick as fuck already.
Suavdino in the building. What's good with y'all?
You hearing a couple new voices. Well, not new voices, but different voices outside of me and Suave. We got my boy Chill the Ill. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm chilling, man. It's your boy Chill. You already know, a.k.a. Mr. IPA.
You ain't got to get chill when I call your ass out. And we got my homie Ali back again.
Yo, what's good?
Hey,
I'm back in town.
We got to, we teaming up together for important discussion. We've been having a lot of important discussions lately, haven't we, Suave?
Yeah, we have.
We was talking about the health shit, on the last episode. We were even talking about, having positive conversation or just good conversation with friends and families about serious shit, and also having a dramatic look at comedy. But this is another important conversation that I feel like the people of America need to have.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that it should be a trending topic. Will Smith.
Wow.
We're gonna talk about Will Smith, all right? And when I say we're gonna talk about it, I mean we're gonna break down his career and we're gonna see what the fuck is going on, bro.
We're going to break down what's left of his career.
All right, y'all. So for the listeners, you might as well go ahead and put hashtag kill Will. 'Cause that's what these niggas about to do. I already know.
We ain't gonna kill him. We just gonna keep it a buck.
I'm allergic to bullshit. I'm
right.
doing all Will Smith quotes from here on out. iRobot.
All right. He didn't say good quotes. That's what he forgot to mention. But yeah, we gonna just have a breakdown the same way we kind of did like with Lil Wayne. We gonna start off with our appreciation for him because he's a black man. We pro black on it. We try to be pro black on this program as best as we can.
Right.
And then we gonna get into
Allegedly.
the nigga shit. We gonna get into the nigga shit. So first and foremost, how great was Fresh Prince growing up for y'all?
Amazing.
It was amazing.
Influential.
It was the cornerstone of, I believe, all of our childhoods.
Really?
Yes.
What about you, Will?
You said the cornerstone. Yeah. I loved it, man. Ain't no
I'm
doubt.
talking about ice cream.
I mean, it kind of, especially as a kid growing up, watching that show, it kind of taught you how to be cool, right? Kind of taught you how to approach women. And not only that, but like just be fresh. Just to be fresh
And at the same time, be yourself with it. Because he was definitely goofy. You know what I'm saying?
he was himself. Yeah.
That was the main highlight of it. Like, he kind of showed us how to be who we were and stand out how we were meant to. We're all unique in some type of way, and he really embraced what made him unique. Even in situations where it wasn't called for, but that was it. That was him.
I mean, I'm not gonna get in that deep, motherfucker.
Right, he got deep
he
quick.
trying to make it seem like he.
Hey, it's Will Smith. What you
I
thought
came to life.
I came to play?
I can't say it was the only deep part about it was a great narrative. Obviously the Huxtables have played its part, but like to see a black family, but not only that, but throw a twist on it where you have an inner city kid from Philly, poor, low income neighborhood, that you go to a rich society and then he has to adapt. That kind of I love that story element about it.
Because we've seen that
adapting.
in other shows like Webster or like, Different Strokes, where it's the black kid going to the white family, but it was the black kid just going to a rich black family. So that was like a good twist on it. And that was my first introduction to Will Smith because I was too young for the, parents just understand the rapping age, which he kind of, obviously he sprinkled that into the show, but to see how a rapper, he was the first rapper turned actor that I really, took seriously.
Right.
I think the Fresh Prince show was just groundbreaking. I think it
was ahead of its time.
Top 3 show of all time.
And let's
Sitcom.
And let's not sleep on the fact that he was really acting in that shit.
To the
Like,
later,
he showcased his acting skills.
He did.
in the later half of the show. Yes,
How come you don't want me, man?
No, okay.
that's what I'm saying. The later half, not
that
the
was-
earlier half.
Because I'll be honest with you, that's Will Smith on a day-to-day basis, isn't it? Like,
We didn't know that at the time.
Okay.
Nah,
Sure.
it-
No. I feel you on that.
He displayed. He put it like this. He displayed acting because sad acting and dramatic acting isn't just all of acting. You know what I'm saying? He displayed comedy, great jokes, improv. You feel me?
That's
as
the
well
thing.
as
Yeah.
sad and dramatic as well. So all the way around, like you didn't know where this was gonna go with Will Smith.
Yeah.
He could have literally he was a rapper, and then Quincy Jones threw him in a situation. Let's see what happens. So I feel like for him to display that versatility, that displayed his
Any
acting.
actor will tell you in Hollywood, comedy is the hardest thing to do overall, as acting wise, writing a script or story or directing. Will Smith has that knack. He was gifted with being comedically just a genius.
Absolutely.
Timing, I agree with you. And like his improv was on point.
On point.
You know, and it was just like you can tell that he was improving, but it was just like it's so natural to him that it was just like, wow, this kid, he was a kid.
Yeah.
And it was just like this kid can actually make you laugh.
Yeah.
Which is tough because I mean, think about it, you would be green around the gills if you're standing in front of a live audience, you know, just trying to remember your script, but he just naturally did it. So I will say I will give him, you know, the points in that area of being so young and being able to deliver.
Yeah, because as a developing character, you got to be able to take, especially in a series, you got to be able to take the audience on a roller coaster. Right. And there was times where we were laughing with him. There were times where we were laughing at him. There were times where we were embarrassed for him, sad for him, had hope for him. You know, it took us through all that shit. And we forget that it's Will Smith, but at the same time, his character is so, like, that character really, I feel like, made him to an extent. Now we're still seeing the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air walking around.
He really grew into that character, if that's what you're going into. As far as like it kind of was Will Smith playing Will Smith, but like in a fictional situation. You know what I'm saying? And I think that what it really showcased was for him is that he has a presence like that prototypical movie star, TV star quality that's very rare to find, where you can put him pretty much on any show in any situation, and he will capture, like he will be the focal point of the scene. Like he'll make his presence known. Like he makes anybody else doing that role probably wouldn't do it as well as he would for that long, especially because that was it's a black sitcom. It got to 5 seasons and then it got they cut it off. That's how usually black sitcoms how they last. But it was like interesting throughout. It wasn't like a sitcom that was like, oh, you only really need to watch the first 3 seasons. The last 2 is kind of cheeks. Even when they switched out Aunt Viv, it was like it's still
Will was the driving force behind that show.
He kept it going, and he was also a producer on it too. Like so, you could see like he was even growing in the industry as well. He learned a lot, and I don't know if he wrote any episodes, but the fact that he was an executive producer probably for I think the last couple seasons, it kind of showed that all right, this is exactly what I want to do. It was like I'm going away from hip hop and the music scene, even though he was still doing music at the time. It was like you could tell he wanted to dive into this because that was his new love. And I was asking as far as like top 3 shows. What do y'all have it ranked as far as sitcoms?
As far as comedies go, I think for me, it's probably like one of my favorites because whenever it was like one of those things where if it's on, I'm watching it, And
yeah, for sure.
It's just like no matter what, like in any given situation.
Yeah.
So it's definitely top 3. I mean, if I were to place it as a sitcom, given I don't watch many sitcoms, I mean, I would probably put it at 1 for myself. I mean, what am I gonna compare it to? The George Lopez show? You know what I mean?
First of all, don't shit on George Lopez. George Lopez show was really good.
Top 10
I will
sitcoms.
say this: top 10
George Lopez is locked
sitcom
in.
wives and daughters. And the other thing is,
Angie was hot.
That's probably the only. That's the only.
She was fine with a capital fine.
That's the
right?
only
Yeah,
sitcom you could say that for, where the wife and
Yes.
daughter was bad.
As hell.
Yeah.
So, but no, it's
Who else?
definitely 1.
Mi amor.
I mean, what other sitcoms?
Fresh Prince does come close.
I was going to say My Wife and Kids, but that's just because you see McKenna Parker now.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking about Claire.
McKenna Parker, Lord have mercy. But Fresh Prince, Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx show, hands down.
Those are your top 3?
Top 3, hands down.
In that order?
What was it one more time?
Fresh Prince, Martin Lawrence, Jamie Foxx. In order, it would be. Oh, actually,
That's
I'll
my
keep
order.
that. Yeah,
That's
that's
my
my
order.
order. I'll keep
I'll
that
What he
order.
just
I'll
said.
put
I'm
Martin
comfortable
at
with
two,
that.
Probably.
You put Martin at 2?
I'll put Martin at 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good top.
Martin at
three.
2. I don't know
Yeah.
about the Jamie Foxx.
I don't.
didn't
Jamie Foxx
really-
show. Instead of that, my third was gonna be Everybody Hates Chris. That's my third.
And this is where the Latino kicks in.
Yeah, right.
Everybody hates Chris.
That was too depressing, to be
Yeah.
honest. That wasn't
It
even
was.
a sitcom.
Sound like the
It
funeral
was a
of
drama
Chris.
with laughs.
If you didn't hear Chris Rock's narrative during the show, you would not give a damn about that show.
Well,
Flat out.
that's why I had to be in there.
He's right.
That was probably a last minute addition.
So let's talk about moving off of Fresh Prince and going forward. Will Smith started doing a lot of movies, even towards the end of Fresh Prince show. Like he was in Bad
It was
Boys.
during-
Bad Boys set it
During-
off for him.
During Fresh Prince.
Yeah, he was like Bad Boys. I think he was in Independence Day as well. I don't know if that was
That was later
was.
on.
that was later on.
That was
Okay.
That was during. That was like the last season of Fresh Prince. That
When
was
he
like
did- okay.
him transitioning into a summer
96.
blockbuster.
Yeah.
Bad
Star.
Boys set the tone for what his career could be. He really established himself as he could be an action blockbuster film actor.
And it was
I want to hold on. To
and it was-
for
and-
1 second. We're gonna come back to.
and it was also
yeah.
the first film where like we talk about Fresh Prince and Martin. Like you see literally like, oh, these are the two best black actors on black sitcoms probably
Hands
of all
down.
time.
Yeah.
And they're in a buddy cop movie together. Like who else? Like that's the perfect
Yeah,
formula.
that is the perfect formula.
You know what I mean? Like so the fact that it not only succeeded, it probably over succeeded as far as people's expectations because this was like
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be good, but it was actually really
It was a pretty good, especially
Yeah.
I like first Bad Boys because it was more influential. But the second Bad Boys, as far as for cinematically, it's Bad Boys. You know
yeah.
what I'm
The
saying?
first
Like,
Bad Boys like all right, we
They
proved-
really polished it up.
yeah we proved we could do it. The second one was like all right, we
Let's
proved
make
that we
it
could-
perfect.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
make it
Make the scale
Yeah.
bigger.
yeah.
From now on, that's how you drive.
he got
And second one,
That was the
that's
first
how
one.
you shoot.
Yeah.
Either way, that's the Bad Boys.
So,
Bro, I'm still on the first one. From now on, that's how you shoot.
Did y'all expect that to be a franchise?
No.
When
And-
it was though, didn't it make sense?
It made perfect sense.
When
I mean,
when
when
it was
you
what?
have the success of Will Smith and not really Martin Lawrence, you just need Will Smith.
Whoa.
Chill out, bro. You gotta stop
All right,
disrespecting
all right,
Martin
hold on.
Lawrence.
Wow, that
We're
I
supposed
know,
to save this for
I
Will
know,
Smith.
I know,
Wow.
but he did Roscoe Jenkins.
That we're not judging. We're not judging.
But,
We're not judging.
Hold up,
First of all,
hold up.
Roscoe Jenkins still holds up. I just
the
watched-
best thing about the movie was the food that mama cooked. Okay. So, anyways, getting to the
decent at
point.
best.
Now, you can only ride Will Smith for so much longer. This is why I want you to hold on to that whole summer blockbuster thing about Will Smith. I mean, as a movie action star, he was at his peak. What would you think his peak would be? Would it be Bad Boys 2 or would
Nah.
it be Independence Day? What would it be?
Nah, his
his
independent.
peak, we'll get on his peak. Best
What's his
believe.
peak?
No, his
What's
as
his
far as action, his introduction to mainstream America was probably Independence Day. Because if you realize he was only in it like 30 minutes, really in the movie. Like even though it looks like he was in it the whole time.
Welcome to Earth.
Yeah,
You said Independence Day?
yeah.
Elvis has left the building.
Give him 45.
That was you.
Mine
Keep,
was
Can
better.
you bring up a good quote?
Right, I
Right,
said
you saying
Welcome
all
to
the
Earth,
shittiest
bro.
one? Yeah, Welcome to Earth is the better quote in that
when
film.
did you watch Will Smith movies? He just wrote
I
them all
told him
down.
that today at work, and he was just like, "No, it ain't." I'm like, "I bet it is."
He gonna say some random ass shit later on.
I'm telling you the quotes I like.
All right.
Wow.
These are the
I
ones-
like that more than Welcome to Earth.
Oh, like
That's
Elvis
what-
has left the building is that much better.
Yeah, you
what
had to see
put
the
Will
scene.
Smith on the
In-
map.
in-
You had to
They
see the
punched
scene.
the
But
alien in the head.
I would say his peak action is the first Men in Black. Like that's when that's when Will Smith was like, all right, he can probably do no wrong because we're throwing a rapper into a world of aliens and government agents type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll say that's the inkling of him being a little bit more versatile, going outside of the box. In regards to if you said action specifically, I think it's Independence Day. Not only that was like his number one international like best box
Grossing
selling movie hands down, and then domestically it comes in as number 2. So
to
like,
what I Am Legend.
to Suicide Squad. That's
That's
number
that-
one.
That's a
embarrassing.
comic book movie though.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, yeah, and it had Marvel behind it. But
Yeah,
nevertheless,
DC.
I mean, or excuse me, DC. But yeah, nevertheless, I mean, that's his highest box office. And plus, that was some great action, bro. Like I remember Independence Day
Day, yeah.
to this day. Like remember as a kid playing it after young, like,
But
I
better
had it
than
on
Men in
VHS, bro.
You liked it better than Men in Black?
huh?
You're saying action, and that I guess Men in Black was kind of sci-fi.
Yeah,
But at the same time,
So
it
it
was
was
some action.
Independence
You liked
Day.
Independence Day more than Men in Black?
yeah, for sure,
Really?
absolutely.
See,
Men in Black was cool, but I mean,
see the difference between me and you. I make this look good. Men in Black.
All right, bro. This is literally. I'm literally getting pissed off.
his mic.
Wow.
As I
You cut this dude's mic, yo.
I'm trying to defend my nigga, and I'm damn near about to turn against Will.
Since we're going into
He said a rich homie Quan quote. He said the difference between me and you.
I thought he was gonna sing
Nigga,
that.
what the fuck? Like, come on, bro.
When did Rich Homie and Will Smith do a song together? It could be fire because we see Will Smith and Cisco make a banger.
We'll bring that up later. I'm ready. Trust me.
He did make a banger.
I listened to
What
it all the
movie?
way here.
That was
Wild Wild West.
Oh, God.
He was
Hold
not.
on.
All right.
We're not in that area.
We're not
Okay.
getting.
We're
Yeah,
talking
we'll get
about
that.
our the best. Of
Do
Will
we
Smith.
have to go there? Like,
Well, the best Will
Hold
Smith
on,
movie.
Hold on, I was gonna
His
say.
peak.
I was gonna say. Since we're in his filmography, favorite Will Smith movie, top 3 favorite Will Smith movies, and this kind of goes along with what you were about to say. So
I Am Legend. I'll give y'all mine real quick since y'all silent. I Am Legend. I Robot. A lot of eyes.
I love myself. Be myself and Irene. Nigga. Come on.
And lastly, Bad Boys 2.
ew. What a fucking list. All right.
Bad Boys 2. Okay,
These are all movies
those
I will watch.
Those is his
These
favorites.
are all movies that I have ran through more than these other ones. Like these other ones, Pursuit of Happiness, like that. I think acting wise, that was one of his great ones.
It's a great movie.
But I'm not. How many times you gonna watch
Oh,
Pursuit of
favorites.
He said his
Happiness?
favorites.
His favorite.
How many times you gonna watch Pursuit of Happiness versus I Am Robot? I mean, I Robot. It's not even
To
comparable.
be honest, I'm not watching either.
If you're not watching I Robot, you tripping. nigga.
Okay. Anyways.
When that car came out in front of Will Smith while he was driving, and they all start jumping on his car, nigga.
Yeah, the highway
You ain't
scene.
telling me that was one of the best action
the
scenes
highway
of that,
scene was real dope.
There was
of
a
that year.
better highway scene in Bad Boys 2, to be honest.
One same year.
There's a better
But
scene
Bad
in
Boys probably
Matrix
took it.
Reloaded, which
I
he
mean, if you
denied.
want to be that specific, I mean, sure.
No, I'm
We're
saying
just talking about iRobot.
action scenes.
Yeah,
Period.
there was better action in Bad Boys 2.
Not in that scene.
All right. So what was your list again? Please give it to the people once more.
I Am Legend.
Mhm.
I Robot.
Mhm.
Bad Boys 2.
Right. He says it again. He goes,
I was reevaluating as I said it. So 2 and 3 are debatable. Like in my eyes, they're interchangeable.
what about you, Ali?
I'm gonna go with I'll go with I Am Legend as 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2 will probably be Ali,
Just a man and his
and number 3 would probably have to be this is kind of a toss up because I want it to be Pursuit of Happiness, but I also kind of want it to be Independence Day because like Independence Day I feel like more than Bad Boys like really showed you like Will Smith, you know, like don't get me wrong, Bad Boys is great. I love the first one. It's one of my favorite action movies. But Independence Day was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was like your Men in Black, but just on a bigger scale. Don't get me wrong, Men in Black is great. And that movie's awesome too. But Independence Day was just with all these mixing pieces, and think about the great actors that are on that movie.
Right.
You know, like Bill Pullman, Jeff Goldblum, all these guys, and Will Smith is also in there.
And it was
Not-
in his prime. And
Not
that was
only
his
that,
second
but
movie. You feel me?
outshining them.
And he had a
For sure.
They had a bad one with him too.
Right.
She was bad.
Mm-hmm.
Facts.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was just awesome.
He's
to see
always
that.
had beautiful black women in his
he's
his
also
films
Exactly.
and
had,
TV shows.
he's also had decent white women as well. So that's
Yeah.
This is also true.
get into that.
Well, shit.
This
That's
is
a win, my
Focus.
dogs.
But I was gonna say this is a pro-black program, so we
Yeah.
don't mention
Yeah.
we don't mention the white women.
But yeah, so Ali, number 2. What was my number 2? Damn it, brain fart.
You said I Am Legend was your number 1.
Yeah, I Am Legend, Ali, and Independence Day. I would say.
For me, I'm going. With, this is not in any order, but my top 3 would be.
But put it in order, motherfucker.
Damn.
We put it in order. Shit.
All right. So the first one I would say is Pursuit of Happiness. The second one I would say is Enemy of the State. and the third one.
That's a good one.
The third one I was.
That is a
Right.
good
I'm
one.
just,
That is
I'll
a
just
good one. That's a good
overreact
one.
on everyone he
The
said.
third one I would definitely say is Bad Boys 2.
All right, then. Why did
What?
you try to
You
play
put
me?
Bad Boys 2?
I put that third on mine. You looking at me like, oh, okay, this guy. He said,
Your top two was I Robot and I Am Legend.
Well, first,
you
the
threw
first
me
one
out
was
for I Robot.
the first one was I Am Legend. And before I say my quote, did y'all have what's y'all best quote of that movie?
Which one of I Am Legend?
Yeah.
There is none because I'd rather him not talk. He was better when he wasn't speaking.
Please say
Wow.
hello back.
You remember when he went in that video store talking to that mannequin? He was going insane, and he was like,
Come on,
I promised my friend I'd come over here and talk to you. Another mannequin who was his friend.
Wow.
And he was like,
Thank you.
Hello.
The other mannequin.
We don't.
And he was like,
we don't need a
"Please-
play-by-play of this film.
Please say
Right.
Come on, please say hello.
No, I will say I Am Legend is a really good movie.
It is. It's not one of my.
it's a movie that
favorites.
no one else could have played how he did and
Yes,
make
it
it
is.
what it was.
Anybody
could've
literally
done
could have
that.
done that.
No, they could not have.
Yes,
Don
they
Cheadle
could
could have played that role.
Don
And
Cheadle
Yo,
could not have
stop
played that
it.
role. Stop it. He could barely play. He could barely play Iron Man's
You're
sidekick.
pissing me
Will's
off.
getting angry.
Shut up.
All right, man. Go
Sound
on.
dumb.
What's
Talking
your
about Don Cheadle could do a whole film. You don't even want to see Don Cheadle by himself right now.
Right, nigga.
Like right now.
As quiet as
You
it's
were
kept.
mad for the supporting cast of Hotel Rwanda.
That's his best movie.
That's
quiet
best
as-
shit.
Ooh,
As
I
quiet
don't
as it's
know.
kept, I've seen a lot of Don Cheadle
Miles
movies,
Davis
but-
is pretty good in that.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't Miles Davis.
Miles Ahead was phenomenal.
Miles Ahead, excuse
Yeah.
me. But nah, mine. I don't have a top three. I just have my favorite one or two, possible two. I Am Legend, Pursuit of Happiness, hands down.
What's the
Simple
third
as
if you
that.
had to pick?
Or just one that you like. Just toss it out.
I like Suicide Squad, or I like what's the other one? Hold on, I was just looking at it. You said it.
You got a wild pick, bruh. Wild Wild West.
iRobot. I fox with
That's what I'm
iRobot.
Not
talking about.
Ali for
I fox with
anybody.
That's what I'm
iRobot.
talking
Ali
about.
was just like
It was revolutionary for its time.
You feel me?
Ali was a movie that you could tell it wasn't his cup of tea. It's not what he does best. He doesn't do well
So-
playing other people.
No, I'm just saying.
He did do
I
well.
will say he was nominated.
I was about to say that was one of his best roles.
That was one of his.
He did do
Best
well
roles.
for that
No,
role.
no, no,
Did he-
no.
did he win?
I'm not talking about.
Did he
favorites.
win?
No, he did not win.
Okay.
But I'm just saying he was recognized. He was
Well,
recognized.
damn.
enough
So
for
anybody
his
who didn't
acting
win that
in
award,
I think he was
they
only-
had a bad performance.
I'm
or
not saying
something?
he did a bad job. I'm just saying you could tell that wasn't the best of Will Smith.
Bruh,
So what
That was
it
one of the
close.
best of Will
That
Smith.
is
was-
the only best. Of
It
Will
was
Smith.
close,
Thank you for
and
saying
he
it.
had some in the
I
2
said one of
years.
the-
In the 2 years where he was Oscar nominated, he had some tough ass competition, man. Some tough. The Ali year when he was nominated for an Oscar, he was going against where'd I put the shit? He was going against who won that category. Actor in a leading role was Denzel Washington. Training Day.
Oh yeah,
All
damn.
It's
How
tough.
how do you compete with
It's
that?
tough. The next Russell Crowe, A Beautiful Mind.
Oh.
He's a jackass. And then Sean Penn. Who cares about Sean? So
I Am
pretty
Sam.
much Will Smith and Denzel Washington were the only main. Like, how do you beat
Right.
Denzel on Training Day, bro? That's tough.
That's one of the greatest characters.
That's tough.
ever.
And that's one of Denzel's best
Ever.
roles.
That
Keep it a
is his
buck.
best
So he
role.
lost to Denzel's best.
That's
and
cool.
That wasn't even his best.
That's
what
I'm.
That's
what I'm
saying a lot. That's saying
I know
a
that's
lot.
saying a
It
lot.
was
about-
one of his best.
All right, we're not gonna bash.
But that was
we're
Will
getting there.
Smith's first actual role where he stepped out of the box, though. And you know what? He should have still stuck to that, and he hasn't. But
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to
We're
it.
getting to the good stuff. We ready to just kill his ass.
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
Cool.
bro.
We
What
just
do
spent. We just was defending him. What
No,
you
I'm just saying
talking
what we always talk about. There's a point of
Yeah,
this.
there's a point getting to this.
Yeah.
We're getting to it.
Where do you rank?
There ain't no point. But
Where do
the
you rank
tip
Will
of the
Smith?
iceberg.
Willie. You brought up as far as like where he was ranking in that Oscar category. But
Yeah.
what do you see him ranked as far as actors now?
He's not top.
I did an extensive list today. I got him roughly. Now this is actors because this is based off what you sent me. But as far as for men specifically, actors, he's like ranked top 12.
Top 12.
If you-
at
if-
where? At 12.
At 12, yes, at 12. If you slide in between actors, actresses, if you wanted the whole shebang, I would slide him top 16. No. Listen,
Top 8 in my book.
But listen. These are the names who I think about. These are the names who was in front of Will. Jack Nicholson, Robert De Niro.
We're talking about now.
Yeah, we're
I don't want to see Jack Nicholson
He said
now.
the question was alive now. Jack Nicholson, bruh, actor alive. He's top. He's up there, bro.
No, his career's not
Denzel.
alive.
We're talking about careers right now.
Jack Nicholson's last performance in the film is better than Will Smith's last performance in the film.
I'm not going to
What
get
was
into
Jack
Nicholson's
Nicholson's last
probably one of
performance
the
in the film?
Greatest, probably is the greatest American actor ever.
Who? Jack Nicholson?
Probably.
Listen to this.
I highly disagree.
Listen to this list though. Jack Nicholson, Robert De Niro, Morgan Freeman, Johnny Depp, Leonardo DiCaprio, Denzel Washington, Harrison Ford, Robert Downey Jr., Jamie Foxx, Forrest Whitaker, Brad Pitt. Then I'm sliding in Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? With a nice Hugh Jackson
That's
right
nice.
behind him.
Nigga, you
That's
just
nice.
named 12
Nah.
angry men. I don't even know what that
Bruh,
list
that's-
is.
All of, when you talk about acting,
Bangers.
that list sounded heavily on box office sales and just like
No.
as far as like being known. That's not. When
I'm talking
I
about
think
right
about
now.
my list,
Yes,
that's not what
right
I'm talking
now.
about.
We're
I'm talking
talking
about
about-
the
I'm talking about
capability
right
of an
now.
actor.
I'm talking about right now. 'cause
Right
none
now,
of the
Jack
right now.
Nicholson wouldn't be on there.
I'm saying as far as for anybody on your right now list, I guess current list of actors. I mean, bro, I'm trying to tell you right now, they're still not scratching this list until they continue to go.
You're going off a career, right? That's because those actors.
I'm
you
putting
named,
it. I mean, yeah. I mean,
they have those actors like right now, but they might not be popping.
all
but-
of these
but
actors
they
made
have-
Wait a
movies within
second.
the past 5 years.
Will, right now.
So let's keep it a buck.
I got a question for you. So I actually did this today. I'm glad that this came up because I compared two actors, right, who basically almost came up together, right? So you have Will Smith on one side, you have Keanu Reeves on the other. Who is better?
Will Smith.
Will Smith. Hands
By
down.
far.
Really?
Hands down.
Is he? Is he though?
Come on.
I don't think
Keanu
so.
Reeves has Matrix and John Wick. What else has he done?
That's all. I mean, what else does he really need to do?
A lot.
A lot.
Will Smith.
He's top
Will
50
Smith.
though. I'll give him that.
I wouldn't disrespect him like that.
Yeah,
I'll give
I
him
wouldn't.
He's
top
top 20.
25.
He's top 20.
Right. He
30.
is. Yeah, he is top 20. But I mean,
And
think about it.
I would say he's one of the. I think Keanu Reeves is one of the top 5 greatest action.
not only
actors of all
not
time.
only that, but it's just like every single actor at this point in time from the early 90s, because Will Smith is an early 90s actor, and every single actor from that time, except for like Tom Cruise,
I was gonna
you
say
know,
Tom Cruise would
who's
be the
just
better
like
comparison.
who's like, you know, we're just gonna leave him out of this because he's not human. So with Will Smith and Keanu Reeves and Will Smith hasn't made that transition in his career where it's just like, okay, you know what? Sometimes I just need to do what's, you know,
what I'm
makes
best at.
what I can be good at, because he really picks some shitty ass stories. Like Gemini Man. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Don't waste your time with it.
I've seen it.
But-
We've all seen it. And
Unfortunately,
and we're
spent my
getting
money
to,
on
we're
it.
gonna get to that.
Okay.
Well, first off,
sorry.
can we address Jack Nicholson and
Bruh.
your comment, Nick,
Jack
about
Nicholson
Jack
got
Nicholson's
some
last
bangers.
performance was better than Will Smith's last performance?
Yeah,
did-
we're talking about Gemini Man.
Willie
compared to the
disagrees
last-
with that.
Okay, well, do you know what his
That
last one
statement.
was?
What was the last one?
It was How Do You Know in 2010.
I thought it was The Departed.
Well, it wasn't. It wasn't.
Willie didn't
Just
disagree
look at
with
the
that.
cover.
But Jack Nicholson deserves to be on that list, hands down.
He does.
I disagree with that
For
statement.
what?
Like,
Like
he
what?
has a nice career, bro. He's a
I'll give you
veteran
Robert De
American
Niro.
For
actor.
what? But his body of work is very it's hefty. But I'm looking at it and it's like
It's
a
not
lot of this shit is just outdated.
I mean, if
And
you-
I'm
if
sick
you-
of giving
if
that respect to
outdated-
these
if-
outdated actors.
If outdated is the only thing, then I mean, he
He's
deserves
not-
to be
when
on
you
there,
talk
bro.
about a list of all right, best actors alive, Jack Nicholson is not on that list. His career's been dead for more than 10 years.
We're not gonna
Damn near
disrespect
10
Jack.
years.
bro.
This ain't about Jack
Stop
Nicholson,
it,
bro.
bro.
He hasn't been in a movie
We're-
since
we're here to
2010. It's
disrespect
been
Will
he's
Smith.
been inactive.
I'm just
Like, what can
saying-
you say?
Suave, you said Will Smith is top 8. Where does he rank in top 8? Do you have him in the ranking?
6.
6? Okay. Ali, where do you got?
say 7.
I want to say 8.
You want to say 7 pounds? Where? Ali, where you got him at?
I would say, like, if there were tiers of actors.
Just say a top.
Okay.
He said
Okay, like
tears.
maybe like he is in top 20, lower half, 20.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Whoa.
I got him as I'll put him up there as top 20 as well. I would say he's in the 15 to 20 range though. I don't have him in
That's the
the
same exact shit.
Don't look at me crazy.
No, but I don't have him at 20. I have him between, like, I think he's probably more about 16, 17.
I mean, that's around where I said between the 12. I said between 12
said
16.
12. You said 12 at 12.
I said if you put in women in that list, in that same list I compiled,
Okay.
like actresses and actors, you'll be around 16.
But I would say when he was during peak Will Smith, he was a top 5 actor.
There's no doubt.
He was him and Johnny Depp were like top 1 and 2. They were like going here and here.
I wouldn't put Johnny Depp that high.
I mean, I'm talking like box office stars. That's what Johnny Depp was.
I would put Tom. I think Tom Cruise is more comparable to Will Smith than as far as if
Really?
you want to compare their careers. But obviously Tom Cruise has the edge in my opinion.
longevity and
As far as like
picking good roles. Yeah.
picking roles that fit him best.
I feel like Johnny Depp stars and picking roles that doesn't fit him best. That's what makes him a better actor.
No, I think Johnny
You know what I'm
Depp
saying?
picks the
Johnny Depp-
same different
Let's
type
keep
of
it
role.
up.
It's
But-
all it's weird because Johnny Depp like kind of like digress like he went the other way. Like he started.
I mean,
off,
that's all
he's-
actors.
He started off picking great stuff. You know what I mean? Like What's Eating Gilbert Grape and everything. I'm talking about Johnny Depp.
Yeah, yeah.
Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah,
and all that shit.
and everything like that. But then it just kind of went like, I'll do the first Pirates movie. I probably shouldn't do the second, but screw it. It
Bruh.
pays.
Bro, all the Pirates of the
but it-
Caribbeans were bangers.
But it
Chill out, bro.
pays. Ease
Oh,
up. Ease
chill
up.
out.
No, it don't.
bangers.
First two were dope.
Bangers. I'm not saying they're like they're Oscar worthy, but I'm saying they were pretty good movies. Damn good movies.
They were
you are
enjoyable
watching
to
it.
watch.
Exactly.
Enjoyable to watch.
And you
Okay.
can watch it any
but,
day.
But like, I always keep on going back to Will Smith about the whole digression of.
We gonna all right.
Yes.
That's coming up.
Okay.
Hold on. Can we touch on some wild ass comments y'all make? God damn. Y'all want to speed by everything.
Like what?
Comparing Will Smith to Tom Cruise. What's up with that, man? Well, on what basis?
The basis,
In what sense?
in the sense of
He's
if we're
better.
looking at their careers, I'm not talking about movie for movie, film for film. I'm talking about bodies of work.
Couldn't be. I know that much.
Yeah, I'm talking about bodies of work, like as far as quality of work. I think Tom Cruise, if you want to really talk about, because I think you may be thinking about like Top Gun or like some of the action movie like Jack Reacher and some shit, but I'm also talking about like A Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men.
That's
was
the
his
one you're
best
gonna name.
acting
No,
role.
Everybody knows
Magnolia.
that.
What
If
else
you've
has
never
he
seen
had
it,
outside of
Magnolia.
A Few Good Men?
Rain Man.
Rain
with,
Man, Magnolia.
Yeah, what was the other
Fuck
one?
Magnolia.
The one that Cuba Gooding Jr.
Are you
That's
serious?
what I was saying. Fuck
Are
that.
you serious?
Fuck that
It was
weird ass
good,
down low
It was
bum
good.
ass jackass
It was
role.
Fuck that.
I'm
It
saying
was
as far
good.
as what was the movie?
And he
with-
runs in every goddamn movie.
He wasn't
Let
even a
him
big
run.
part. Was he even a big part of that movie?
What?
Let him
Magnolia.
He ran down the hall.
Magnolia's not on my list as far as good time. I'm talking about what was the one with Cuba Gooding Jr.
You
when he
can't
won
remember
Oscar?
it.
It's the title. I know the title.
That's what I'm saying.
with
You
who?
don't remember it. It's not that
Oh,
great.
Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, Jerry Maguire. Like yeah, Tom Cruise he's got some like
It
Oscar
sound
worthy.
good.
He doesn't have it.
He
You
does.
just
Sound
named
good.
3 and now you're stumped. That's not comparable to
No,
Will Smith.
It's not.
saying,
I'm sorry.
saying
It's
those
just
are-
not.
disrespectful.
So it's disrespect
Tropic
when you keep
Thunder.
bringing these random fucks
No,
in there.
there was I only
Tropic Thunder. That was one of my favorite movies by Tom Cruise.
Tropic Thunder
That's
was
not a Tom
racist.
Cruise movie.
Was racist
Exactly.
as hell. All right, it was
Robert
blackface
Downey
all
Jr.
the fuck over that movie, and I didn't appreciate that.
Well, one of your favorite actors, one of your top 10
Right.
artists, played that blackface character.
Willie.
Robert
you know
Downey.
damn well you laughed at that.
Huh?
You laughed at that movie.
He said,
Hell
"What do you
no.
mean, you people?" He said, "What do you mean?"
you people?
That's not a
time.
Tom Cruise movie, by the way. I was only named.
Hey, call me an asshole one more time.
Shut the fuck up.
That was the best quotable he
Haircut.
said all day. That's the best one.
I
he
was
said
gonna
all
say-
What
day.
a movie.
Let me get back to the reason why I said those 3 movies for Tom Cruise because that was his dramatic side. The rest of it is pretty much action based. I can only name 3 good Will Smith movies if we were to talk about. Because we're getting that's the next question. How many good movies does Will Smith really have? As
Okay,
far as like
let's
if
get
you
to
want
'em.
if you want to talk about like if you want to get into the Will Smith bag and who he really
Mhm.
is and like his best shit,
Mhm.
you only can really name 3. After that, you kind of like picking.
No,
just good
that's
movies.
you.
That's
Don't say
you.
don't
Yeah,
say
don't say
you
we.
as in us.
Yeah,
tell me.
You
You
say
you
I
say
can
that.
only
Tell
name
me.
3.
All right.
Tell me.
I want to hear your 3 first.
No, I asked you first. You the one that said I'm the one that's wrong. So you go ahead.
Well, I mean, you have a short list, so mine's longer. I'll start mine after you.
All right. Willie, what's up? What you got?
Just rattle them off.
I
It's
got,
quick, right? 3.
The Pursuit of Happiness, 7 Pounds,
Mm.
I Am Legend,
Mm.
Independence Day,
Mm.
Ali.
Mm.
That's already 5 off rip.
Off
now
rip.
this is where
This is where you're really good.
Off the
movies.
tippy
This-
top.
huh?
You
Yes,
said
of
these are really
course.
good movies.
Now this is where it.
I'm talking about Will Smith
opinion-
as a leading role. He's not a leading role in Independence Day.
He is. He has
He
a
is.
leading role.
Stop
He is not-
it.
he's about as
He,
leading.
hold on. And yeah,
He
he
is.
outshined
Oh my
every
goodness.
lead role
He's
person
on
that
the
you think
cover
that was
of
over.
the. He's
He
on the
is.
movie poster.
They changed that because he got bigger later on. He was not a lead.
Those are
it was Jeff
excuses.
Goldblum
Will
and that
Smith-
one white guy.
Will
No,
Smith
fake
had a
news, fake
prime
news,
role
fake
in that
news.
movie, bro, and he outshined most of the people in that movie. Now, as I continue, I have two more that are questionable, but I believe they fit on this list.
Wild Wild West?
I say Aladdin because that's
Alright.
one of its best
It
box
is.
offices
You
selling
feel me?
movies.
It
We're
was
not
a
talking about-
billion-dollar
I've
movie.
That
That
doesn't mean it's
hold
good.
On, can I finish? I've seen clips, bro, enough. I only seen half of the movie. I ain't gonna lie, I seen half on bootleg. I ain't finished it. I just don't like Disney films. I'm sorry, I'm done. That's just me. But moving on, he carried that movie, bro. He literally carried that Aladdin movie. And Concussion. Concussion was a very slept-on movie. It was
That was a good
snubbed out of
movie.
the Oscars. I remember they had a whole thing, hashtag Oscars are white, after he was snubbed out of that. His accent was
did
a
not
little
have
bit.
that.
Yes, they
They
did.
did not have that because of concussion.
It was a part of that discussion.
No, Jada
Tell
Pinkett
the
Smith.
truth.
Stop hyping Martin.
On top of that, yeah, tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. His accent was a little bit questionable,
even know what the
but
hell
his
y'all
acting,
You ain't hear us?
phenomenal. Rotten Tomatoes even gave him a 59%, and I don't even give a fuck about Rotten Tomatoes because they're a piece of shit anyway. They're very biased on their shit. But what I can say is that they even said it was a star-studded performance by Will Smith. It just had some questionable underlines of the film that made them give them that 59%.
What about you?
Hands down.
What was the topic?
How
Top
many
Will
great
Smith movies.
Yeah, top Will, like as far as quality. Of
Oh yeah, how many good movies are there? That's a good.
Yeah.
That's good to emphasize on. You got to
I
think they're
think-
good.
I think that there are good films in his. I'm gonna tell you the good films that he hasn't done, like
No, just say.
wait, hear that.
Yeah.
He hasn't done.
How do you
Yeah,
even answer that?
let's just
No,
say.
no, we're not getting there. We get just say.
That
Just
nigga-
stick
this
to
nigga
the
gonna
question.
say he
So
ain't
right
put-
now, I will say Ali was one of his prominent roles.
It's biased.
Pursuit of happiness. Shut up. Pursuit of happiness. Okay. And I'll probably say Men in Black. Really good, the first one, and none of the rest. Bad Boys. Bad Boys, and probably. By the way, he played a ghost in Legend of Bagger Vance. I just wanted to throw that in there. But like,
Wow. You might as well throw Shark Tales out there.
Wait
a fish.
That's on some of our lists.
by the way, 1 second. He did a movie called 6 Degrees of Separation. That was
His
one
first
of his
movie.
first movies
movie.
that he did. And I'll tell you, this was actually from an interview that Will Smith did about that movie, was that in the movie itself, his name is Paul, and he's a homosexual in the movie. And he had a boyfriend in that movie. He was, in the script, story says he was supposed to kiss his boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith denied that part of the script and went like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
As
going
he
to do
should.
that."
My man.
As he should.
My man.
Hold on.
As you should for- as you should
this
for
will
what?
this will go into our
You
next
can't pick
point.
a gay role and not be gay.
This will go into our next point of
If you're Will Smith,
as
yeah.
to why Will Smith's career is the way it is right now.
keep that
in shambles.
Keep that
So,
point. Keep that
who's
point.
next?
I got.
Okay,
No,
hold on.
no. Oh, you said you wanted me to go. You go.
Oh, I thought you already went. Okay,
No,
go ahead.
I was
Okay.
saying my top the top 3 films as far as good quality or to good to great quality that I have for Will Smith is I Am Legend, Pursuit of Happiness, and then I'll probably put 7 Pounds as the top 3 movies that I would say these are the ones that showcase his best acting range.
Isn't
And
that
I'm
the
sorry,
with
one more time.
Jellyfish?
One more time.
I said I Am Legend, Pursuit of Happiness, and 7 Pounds.
That's a good list.
All right, what did you got?
Before I go, let me hear this outrage. If you can make it quick, make him hear this outrageous ass, movies he should have done.
Right, Django and Matrix. Go on, tell us your
He
list.
turned down those roles.
Right,
Got you.
They were for good. They were for
Right.
good reasons.
I
They were
did-
for
I did
horrible
read-
they were for stupid reasons.
No, they were not.
He gave
He's
up.
like,
he gave up.
should have fought for love. Shut up, Will.
He
No,
gave
he
up
just
the damn
shouldn't have
movie.
Hold on, hold on.
He resolved the issues
Let me
with
explain.
violence.
Let me explain it.
He didn't want that.
He gave up the Matrix for Wild Wild West because he thought he didn't really understand the Matrix script, and he thought that Wild Wild West would be a better, more understandable mainstream film. Will Smith's mindset when he in his earlier on in his career was like he was all about box office. He always wanted to have the top movie, the top grossing movie. That's why when you look at these films in his early part of his career, the ones that really
Every
pop,
actor does, but I feel you.
No, but I'm saying this is what he said. I'm not saying I don't know
I
what
feel
area.
you. I say every actor does.
So that's why the early part of his career, you see him doing all these great successful films, and then towards the middle half, or I would say like the late 2000s going to now, those films kind of showcase the quality of his selections.
Wait, hold on. That doesn't make sense.
Like he was going for scripts he thought that would be great mainstream.
He was going for
hits.
box office hits then,
Hits.
and you're saying he's still doing that now, or he's not?
No, I'm saying it declined afterwards because at first he was on a good track.
Half
but
and
then
half.
but then his obviously decision making got worse, and as you can see, his
His
body of work got
decision
worse.
making-
So much worse.
Y'all be killing me with
He
this
is-
shit, bro.
and he
Like
turned-
you're
and he
like
turned
he's
Black Adam
just sitting
Sandler.
there,
I said it.
eeny, meeny, miny, mowing these scripts. Like,
I'm gonna tell you more about it when we get to the decline. But as far as the Django, yes, you're right. He didn't like that Django ended in violence. He wanted to end in love. So
That's cool. Jamie did a better role, in my opinion. And
But would
I
you
feel like
not
he
have
would've did a
loved
better
to see
job.
Will?
No, not
Really?
at all. Nope. Keep it as it is. Seeing Jamie did
why
it.
is
it
that?
was
Is it
perfect.
just because you saw Jamie, or because you know that Will Smith couldn't have done what Jamie
Given
did?
Jamie's amazing in that
I
role.
just feel like Jamie Foxx was the better person for that role. Like that was a blessing.
But you
for the
you
production
gotta
team
realize,
who
Will,
came with that.
Tarantino's first choice was Will Smith.
Yeah, and Terry Tino's a jackass sometimes.
I can't lie. Now that
Hands
I
down.
think about it, that would have been great, like crazy to see Will Smith in that.
Oh
role.
my God, it would be
Like just
so dope.
cutthroat against white people.
That would have been his right.
What the fuck?
That would have been
We
the
all wanna
right
see
way
that
to do.
now, type shit.
That's
Like,
going
That'd been the right way to
I
do
haven't seen
Wild
him.
Wild
we
West.
want to see that now.
That's going against his bottom line.
It really does.
It does.
And so good for him.
So
It does.
what is your top? Movie?
My top ones: I Am Legend, 7 Pounds, Pursuit of Happiness, I Robot, Bad Boys, Ali, Men in Black, Aladdin, Focus. I was gonna throw Enemy of the State in there.
Enemy of the State is a really good underrated movie of his. I love
I didn't even mention Independence Day. My bad. Independence Day, and then at the very tail end, Bright.
Which you
Is
not?
that the one
You're
where his
not.
partner is Martin Lawrence, but he's an ogre?
Okay.
Wow.
Do me a favor. Keep that kind of shit to yourself. I Robot.
I hate you, bro.
So any good glowing comments about Will Smith before we tear this nigga up?
No, let's go.
I'm
What are you
not
talking about?
No,
Whoa,
let's
whoa,
go.
whoa.
Pause.
Nope.
He said.
Nope.
Well,
I'll say it like this.
Go ahead.
Oh, did you have some pivotal?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Wait. You about to answer his question?
No. Oh yeah, I was about to answer this question as far as one last good thing to say.
To say, yeah, you go first and I'll go.
6 degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Was a great role for Will Smith because he did exactly what I think most of y'all have a gripe with him. He lost himself in a role. It wasn't a Will Smith role. It wasn't Will Smith acting in that one. It was the character. He even said on record he method acted for that specific role. Hasn't done it since.
Would you say that? I think he would say that because that was his first real role in a film, like a feature length
It's like
film.
one of his first. I mean, think about that was like
Like
one
how
of
else
his
you're gonna
first-
take your first role seriously? But go ahead.
I mean, that's true. But from then on, he never had to conform to that shit anymore. And I want that to be known. Like, that's not a negative. The fact that you are a presence, that's like Sam L. Jackson. He's one of the greatest actors we know because they write him into these roles. You can do that with Will Smith. He brings that to the table. A lot of these other actors, they bring an audience to the table at the same time, but it elevates their game to take the role to, all right, I'm going to fall back and let the director really run this. It benefits them in that way. It doesn't do that for Will Smith because he already does that.
How can you? Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead. Keep going.
That was it.
To also piggyback off of that, you also have to kind of really put into perspective a lot of actors, and this is just not Will Smith, but a lot of actors who've had their most successful films may not necessarily be the best roles for them to be doing. So, i.e. Shark Tales, and when he played the fucking fish, he got a great payday out of
That's
that.
a family film. We don't count. Like every actor does a family film. You know what
I'm saying that that's not necessarily true, but I'm saying like that's a great example. Like that's on his resume. Same thing for Aladdin. That's on his resume. Disney's paying him. He did a great job. Will Smith gonna always do his job. He always gonna show up and deliver. You know what I'm saying? But
Always?
was that all
Gemini
for the
Man.
most part? For the most
what
part.
was to say? Don't say
But
always.
for the most part. But what I will say is that we cannot bash the actor for his choice in a movie, especially if it's one of his best paydays, and count it against his resume.
I do not
But
care
Will-
about that. Why,
And-
how does
and-
that? How does that
but some
affect
people
the
count
quality of
that
the work?
against his resume? You see
Will,
what I'm
like,
saying?
But there are actors that will take pay cuts to be in some type of films that
But they're not Will Smith.
will be substance.
I mean,
dude.
they're not Will,
Will
Smith,
Smith-
though. Will,
Will
like he
Smith-
said, like Swaff said, he brings his own demeanor, his own presence.
But Will Smith is your living proof that not every at bat is going to be a home run.
It ain't.
Well,
Now,
It ain't.
Now that's fair, but that also goes into his selection making once again.
That's his decision making.
That's his decision making, and he's going to get paid regardless. You know,
It's still poor decision. It's not
Well,
something. Not everyone. 20 years from now, and people aren't gonna be like, "Oh yeah, he did this so and so role for Gemini Man, but he got paid though." Like it was a horrible role.
Now,
quit saying horrible and terrible. Like it wasn't.
It was. It
for
was,
a Will
bro.
Did I say-
Smith movie.
No,
it was
period.
below.
It
But
was period. It was a
no,
bad
it was
film,
not
period.
because
Go
I
ahead,
agree
but
with
now
Swaf.
but Swaf is the only one who's gonna agree with say this point. So go ahead.
for a Will Smith movie, it might have been below his standards. But for an action movie and for a movie just period, like if you grab somebody who has never seen a Will Smith movie and you bring him into that theater and you let him watch that movie, he's gonna come out like, oh, that shit was dope.
He's gonna come out and
it
say,
was.
he was gonna come out, why the fuck did you make me waste my
No,
2
he's
hours
not. No,
of
he's
my
not.
life?
I agree with Swaf to that standpoint, definitely. If it was any other actor, I feel like they would have definitely been like, okay. But because it was Will Smith, like we said, we hold him to a high standard. That's why I was kind of disappointed. We'll get into that.
You wasn't kinda,
But-
nigga. I was with you.
Yeah, no, very true,
You
very
were
true.
kinda.
But I definitely have specific reasons. To follow up with the points as far as for the last minute glow stuff for Will Smith. His two, like I said a little bit earlier, his 2 Oscar noms. He has some tough competition. The one was Denzel Training Day. The other one was The Last King of Scotland with Forrest Whitaker. Hard, bro. Hard.
That
That
was
was
for
a
Pursuit of
great movie.
Happiness, right?
That was one of that was Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
That was one of Forrest Whitaker's greatest films that he's ever did. Not only to
Ghost
add to
Dog.
that, he actually, by the time he released Pursuit of the Happiness, it was December 15th. So he only had around really 2 months before the Grammys came out. So
Oscars.
the Oscars came out. So a lot of people didn't really get a chance to. It wasn't marketed as well as, The Last King of Scotland. I feel like that also played his role into it as well. Another thing, you feel me? This man has started, and I was telling Nick about this. This man has started with a rap career. He was a rapper first. Most of his life, he
musician.
has been rapping.
He was a
He didn't
musician.
start acting until he was 25. Most of the people I named on my top actors list been acting all their lives.
You feel me?
You have to give a person who does a career change a little bit of flexibility when it comes to the
So you graded him on a
decision
curve.
making.
You graded him on a curve.
I'm not grading him on
That's
a
what you just
curve.
said.
I'm saying that you have to hold him to the expectation that you holding other actors, but you have to put into the fact that he was a rapper first, he switched careers, and even then, he still has some, I guess, quote unquote, bad selections later on in his career.
I'ma
He's
ask-
still among the top
I'm
actors
I'm
today
I'm
based off of that.
I'm gonna ask you this one question: has he been acting longer than he's been rapping?
Has he been acting longer than he's been rapping?
No.
No.
Yes, he has.
No,
No, he hasn't, because he still raps.
Because he still raps. He came back out with another album in the late
What
2000s.
what album? No,
Big Willie style.
I asked.
I'm saying you asked it, I gave it to you.
Is that what
You
the
feel me?
album
He's
is, or
still
that's
Is
the
that what you
porno?
call rapping?
Yes. I'm saying at the end of the day, bro, you have to really like put it in a holistic, you know what I'm saying, perspective that he
Here-
switched his career and he's still up there with the top
If you want to
actors.
grade him on a curve,
Hands
that's
down.
on your. That's on you. I will say this. This is my last glowing review of Will Smith. I think he is so talented that no matter what stage he's at in his career, he can always win. He can always give an Oscar-winning performance. It's just the fact that can you get that out of him? Will he be motivated enough to get that out of you? Like, would he trust the director enough to get that out of him?
Will Smith is so talented that for Men in Black, he didn't get an Oscar, but he got a Grammy off the song. Like, let's keep it a buck, bro. I'm trying to
I'm
Real
only
talk.
talking about the
Oh
acting.
my
The
God.
music, the
I
music has nothing to do
understand,
with
but
the acting.
I'm trying to show you how
It
talented
does if it plays into it.
It plays into
it.
it.
Does if he uses both interchangeably.
That's the other thing.
It does if he uses one to elevate the other. It matters.
So
he used
it-
a lot of
so
soundtracks
what-
to boost the album.
So this is a random, just a quick segue. So what is Drake really good at? Singing or rapping? What would you say his best quality is?
Neither.
Neither. He doesn't write.
I'm asking
Singer.
this.
And he's a black
You say
face.
he's-
I'm sorry. He's a better rapper.
He's a better rapper than
Yeah, I
he's a
said it.
singer.
I
Right.
second what Will say.
Fuck.
So if you say
Bitch
if you separate the two, where does he rank? He gets lower if you just solely take Drake as a rapper, he's lower in the tier, right? And if you solely take Drake as a singer, he's slowly in the tier. But
He's
when you
very low in
But
the
when you
tier.
combine them together, he's probably top 3, right?
As an artist.
As an artist, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. If you take Will Smith and you put him separately, he gets lower in the tier of acting. He gets lower in the tier of rap.
Drake as a singer is a
collaboration,
very
yes,
low
he's a
tier. Drake as a singer is a
talking about Will
god
Smith.
awful. I understand, but you compared him to Drake. Drake is a god awful singer. He's on a dumbass low tier. Rapping, I'll give you a little bit more, but he writes. So if you give that fucking curve, you're grading Drake on a curve. Let's keep it a
I wasn't
buck.
comparing
He doesn't
Drake-
even write his own shit.
I wasn't comparing Drake.
Yeah, that
to Will Smith.
comparison proves our point.
That
No, it does
comparison
not.
was
It does.
it was
saying if
god
you-
awful.
I'm
That's
Because
saying-
what it
just
was.
saying that you're judging Drake's, you would judge Drake's career, and you would consider both his singing and his rapping. Just like when we're judging Will Smith's career, even though we're not saying it plays a giant part, but his musical
it's the complete
prowess
opposite.
played into it.
What I'm saying is the complete opposite of what you're saying. But go
You
ahead.
even said that Will Smith's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air had little remnants of his rap career. So does the rest of his career. It's just interchangeable at that point because he can use one to push the other.
I'm saying if you judge one singly, like if you like,
You
'cause
can't with Will Smith. That's what
you
I'm saying.
can.
You can't.
He doesn't rap and sing in every
Listen,
project that
listen,
he's
listen,
in.
listen.
What are you talking
Nobody today is going like, "Yo, have you heard Will Smith's new single?"
about? No one said that in the last decade or two.
Nobody.
That's fine, but we're talking.
So then
about
why
the-
are we judging that
That's
on
we're
here?
talking
I'm
about Will
saying-
How did that play a role in Gemini Man? How did that play a role in I Am
the
Legend?
only
How did that play a
the
role in
only
iRobot?
point that
None.
I brought
It
it
did not.
up, the only point why I brought it up is because he literally did a career change, and he is still
So you're
among the
grading him on a
top
curve.
actors.
Okay, that's fine.
He's still among the top actors this day. Now, the last thing I'll say is he's a RTA. I'll call that rapper turned actor.
Okay.
He's an he's a RTA. I'm going to
Okay.
refer to it as that. Now,
he's an
now,
RTA.
now, hold on. In a RTA,
damn good one.
On the RTA spectrum, he is iconic in that level. The only people who's been doing Will Smith has done is Tupac in 92 when he did Juice, Ice Cube when he did Boys in the Hood, 92,
Why are you singling
Will
out-
Smith,
why are
hold
you
on,
singling out those years?
hold on.
I'm asking why are you singling out those years? Like, why are you saying Tupac?
Because it shows that was the when
How Fargo was.
He was a pioneer in that time. Nobody has done it past since this time. I've checked. I did the research.
No, I'm saying like, are you saying that was
Rapper
the,
turned
was that the
RTA.
first? Was that the first film that Tupac was in? Was in '92?
No, okay, so I'm not talking about side roles, bullshit cameos. I'm talking about a hard acting, solid role you are acting and performing in.
And these
yes.
and these are these people's first time doing it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. Tupac, Juice. That was 1992. Ice Cube, Boys in the Hood, 1992.
What a role.
Will Smith with 6 Degrees of Separation. That was 93. Ice-T with New Jack City, 91. And then, of course, I got to throw the Queen in there. Queen Latifah would Set It Off in 96. Them are the only 5 people who are RTAs and are still relevant today and are iconic as far as for the rapper turned actor scenario and opened the gateway for that. Nobody's ever did that before, and Will Smith helped break into that. That's another iconic thing that you have to also add it to his career as well. Now we could continue.
All right. The last.
Well said.
We're in 2019.
Well said.
We're in 2019 going into 2020, right? So we're going into a whole new decade. Starting from 2010 to 2019, if we're looking at Will Smith's filmography, it's you could arguably say it's real boo boo. It's Cheeks. It's Heine.
You
It's-
said from 2010.
it's Rum Shaker.
Who
You know
does
what
that, bro?
I agree.
It's Duty
Who does
Maker.
that?
Like he just picks out a specific decade.
Right.
And let's just tackle him
It's
from
not
there.
a specific. It's not a specific
It is
decade.
2010 to 2019.
It's not a specific
20,
decade.
essentially.
Swadoff brought up the point as far as your list of actors, as far as like they're not relevant to this decade, to this last 10 years. And I'm bringing up the fact that if we're judging, I'm not saying we're judging his whole career just yet, but I'm saying if we're looking at his body of work lately, because most of the movies we mentioned are early 2000s. They're not in the 2010s. They're not in the last 10 years. Most
Some
of
are.
the movies
Aladdin, definitely.
that's it.
Concussion, definitely.
I'm saying the majority of the ones that we like and we consider his best films are not in the 2010s.
Collateral Beauty.
So from
No
2010 to 2019.
Wait, how many movies does he have?
From that time frame?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see.
I think it's close to probably like 10.
Jesus. Men in Black 3. After Earth.
While y'all searching that up, I also wanted to bring out to
Focus.
the point as far as for like the also noticeable thing. I believe in 2008 was like kind of I don't want to say quote unquote end of his peak because actors always go through that roller coaster ride with movies. You just never know. But I can say 2008 is when he dropped Hancock and 7 Pounds in the same year, and that was really like the last of like top-notch, good, solid movies. He took a 4-year break, and then 2012, you give us bullshit like Men in Black 3, After Earth and Focus.
Hold on. That's what
come on,
That's what I'm
bro.
getting to. So, he doesn't have a movie in the from 2010 to 2019. His filmography really starts in 2012 with Men in Black 3. Then in 2013 is After Earth.
Whoa.
Then in
That wasn't one of his roles. Like he was sitting down the whole time. It wasn't him.
He-
It wasn't him.
he was in
started-
it.
That
He
was
was
his
in it as
movie.
much as
And
he
it
was
was
in
his
Independence
he was
Day.
headlining.
No,
He
it
was
was
in it as
not.
much
I
as
feel-
Independence Day.
No,
If you're gonna
it
give him
was
Independence
not.
Day, you got to give
No,
him
you do
After Earth.
not.
Are you
He
serious?
has a good point on that.
What
bro.
are you
he
talking
does
He has a
not.
good point.
Yes,
Will
he
Smith,
is,
he
bro.
had a
His screen
predominant.
time on
It's the
After
same.
Earth
He
was
had a predominant
by
role.
far shorter than
It
on
was
No, it
short.
was
Independence
not.
Day.
It was
Yes,
small.
it was. Probably
small.
by
Have
a
you
good
watched
10,
that
20
movie?
minutes.
He was in. That's
Have
as
you
much as
watched-
he was in.
Have you watched that
Nope.
movie? Have you watched?
I've
that
watched
movie?
both movies. Yes.
Okay.
He was in as.
I've
God
watched
bless
the
you.
3-hour movie
God
Independence
bless
Day.
you.
He was in
I'm-
it a lot.
I'm glad you.
He
made
was
it.
in it a lot.
But he was also in After Earth a lot. By the way,
No, he was not. How was he in it that much?
He was in at
Think
least
about
30
what
minutes.
he did.
Listen,
He was in
listen.
30 minutes.
How long
Listen.
is the screen going to be showing on
Listen,
him laying
listen.
on his ass, giving directions?
Did he?
That's how
yeah,
lazy
yeah.
he was,
Was
bro.
he? Did
Could
he
you believe it?
actually do any action or movement or stuff? There was a lot of human interaction for that role specifically. No, but did he have a predominant role in that film?
Yes.
Yes. Was his voice and his presence known, which we
Yes.
all agreed on? That's what Will Smith brings to the table. Yes. His son. He worked with his son, and his son was in the film, bro. You got to give it
So
to
let
him.
me keep on going.
His son was in the film. That don't mean Will Smith was in it. But all right, keep going.
So we got
What?
Men in Black 3, we got After Earth in 2013, we have Focus in 2015, we have Concussion in 2015, we have Suicide Squad 2016, Collateral Beauty 2016, we have Bright in 2017, and we have now Aladdin and Gemini Man in 2019, and he has two more films coming. Well, he has one more film coming out in this decade, and that's Spies in Disguise.
That's an animated movie.
Animated film.
Good grief. Okay,
Those
so
are
the-
solid movies.
Those
So-
are dumpster fire
Wow,
movies.
yeah.
No, they're not, bro.
Okay.
I think the
What's the best
average-
movie out of that list?
So
that I
you're
got?
saying Focus was not dumpster fire. Focus was a good movie.
Okay, it's good. That's good. That's it.
Concussion.
No, it was not.
Concussion.
Concussion is
I would
very
only give it
slept
a.
on.
I would only
Suave
give it a
has not
Concussion.
mentioned Concussion at all
At
in any of the
all.
Bright
films.
was a good movie.
Bright
He was
was
slept on.
not good.
Bright was
a
a good
Netflix film.
movie.
It was a Netflix film.
It was a good movie. Quit putting these little random ass
Right,
labels
these
on
little
them,
la- I
bro.
hate
The,
that.
the label says it's not a
No,
good film.
it
The
does
reason why
not.
it's
It doesn't.
Okay.
What? So you saying Kevin Spacey never dropped nothing good before House of Cards?
I'm not talking about Kevin Spacey.
I understand, but I'm asking you about him. I'm saying he's never dropped anything good before House of Cards.
He has
So
dropped
be-
a lot of good stuff before. House
So
of Cards.
because he did House of Cards, you're saying, oh, it's just a piece of shit?
No.
It's a
No,
Netflix.
not
Oh,
saying
that's
it
It's
a
a
has
Netflix
Netflix
series?
show. It's a
Yeah,
Netflix
you can't-
original.
you can't do
Netflix
Netflix-
is
you
first.
can't-
You can't
can't
say
do
Netflix
Netflix
is
like
some
that.
type of
Stop throwing tags on it,
downgrade
bro.
or something because it's not.
To me, it is. You're asking my opinion, so I don't give a fuck about what y'all saying right now. I'm just saying y'all my opinion. But go ahead.
No,
What did
you're
you say?
making
What was
blanket
your
statements
opinion?
like these are dumpster fire movies. This is not just your opinion.
We're all
that
talking
point.
about how Will Smith
Hold
in
on,
his career.
so
And
just-
We're
our
trying to
opi-
reach
and our
an
opinions-
umbrella. We're trying to reach an umbrella.
So to be clear, you said that Kevin Spacey, because he went on Netflix original, it was trash.
I'm not saying that at all.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that Netflix was a TV show. I'm talking about films.
I understand, but I'm saying
TV shows don't come out in theaters.
cinematography.
TV shows you don't pay for.
I'm talking about actors with a project. He's dropped successful shit before it. He's dropped successful shit
I'm
after
saying
it.
Bright was a
And
bad
because
movie.
he went to Netflix, and just in that specific,
I'm saying Bright was a bad movie.
is it, or so you're saying
It
House
was
of
so
Cards
ba-
was bad
I'm saying
too?
I'm saying it
For-
Bright,
because it's Kevin Spacey.
No, I'm not saying that at all. You asked me a question. I'm
I think
answering.
he's just saying Bright was
Bright's a bad
overall-
movie, and he used the fact that it was on Netflix.
to say that
to label it.
I don't
Which
it
is-
couldn't-
So because
it-
it's on Netflix, it's shitty.
There's
couldn't-
plenty
it couldn't
of.
have-
That's what he's saying, but
That's what he's
obviously
saying.
there's holes in that.
I
just
genuinely,
that comparison
if y'all
period.
believe it, that's fine.
Let's get
I
past
genuinely think that Bright could have been done without or with anybody, and it still would have been bad. But Will Smith made the wrong choice again, as he normally did in this past decade. I think his best role, truly,
in this past decade.
was Concussion. I think that was his best role.
Best
now,
role.
given he
Horrible African accent.
I will say this.
You're
I will.
biased.
I will.
You
This
say that
is
for
this is
every-
where
there's no good
this
black
is-
African
this is-
accent.
this is where
Nigga, you African,
There's
and
no-
you don't even got an African
This is-
accent. So let's
this-
keep it a buck.
this is
but
let's
I
keep it a buck.
But I grew up around a lot of them, so I know which one sounds good and which one don't.
And I
nigga.
bet you if you didn't, you would think Will Smith had a one hell of an African accent.
And I know Swaff is drinking, but there's no ifs in what I'm talking about when I know African accents. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So, because if it was a fifth, we all be drunk, nigga.
You're
but I
you're
know
an
if
if drunk nigga. Okay, go ahead.
you're a bitch ass nigga.
Anywho, so what I'm saying is that I will give this to Will Smith. He has some balls to go for some of these roles that
Balls
are
as
just
far as what?
holy shit. Why would you do this? Like for instance, right? Gemini Man has been in production hell for damn near 30 years. Nobody wanted to do it.
Production hell means that literally everything about the film is up in the air. No one
Wrong. Yeah, everything was wrong about it. Just smelled bad from afar. You know what I mean? Like the script just went through 800 rewrites. There were like 5 different directors attached to it. This is a movie that was in production since 97. 97.
And he wasn't the first
Did
choice.
did Ang Lee do Avatar?
No, that was
No.
James
He
Cameron.
did, he did Life of Pi.
He did Life
Ang
of
Lee's a piece of shit. Continue.
Pi. Life of Pi is the only good film. Ang Lee did.
That's damn near a piece of shit, too.
And I hate
Keep
to say
going.
Brokeback Mountain was one of his good movies.
Well, that was a groundbreaking film.
Right.
Outside of, but as far as quality, it's probably shit.
Right. So what I'm saying is that Will Smith, this is where Will Smith kind of needs to, like after Gemini Man, this is kind of where he needs to wake up a little bit. It's just like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Aladdin made him money. I get that. That's fine.
That's a selfish
We're
thing,
not
though.
going to talk about the money, though.
Yes.
None of us will talk about the money. What we're going to talk about
Disney
is
too.
what
He
we're-
held his own.
No. I will.
What Disney movie
I'm
did he
fine
do?
with that.
Oh, the Aladdin.
I'm fine with that. You know, there's a reason why he got that role. Think about it. Robin Williams is damn near. He is Genie.
Exactly. How do you praise
Well,
Robin Williams, but you're not gonna praise Will Smith for his performance?
That's an animated movie, bro.
One second.
And I always said that. I
So?
always say
second.
kids movies.
It doesn't
I
matter.
don't-
He stole the show.
you
Just
don't-
like Will
Exactly,
Smith
like-
did.
No, I'm just saying, kids movies. You don't count that as like the serious actor's resume. Like it's on your resume. Yes, I'm not denying it. I'm just saying like you don't bring up none. Like you didn't bring up Shark Tales at all. That was another animated film that he did. But that's because it's not one of his best films.
Well,
when you talk about his,
you don't.
you
Okay,
did.
okay,
I
okay.
asked you a favorite, and
Shark
you gave
Tank.
you gave me
I'm not
8.
talking about Shark Tank, but Aladdin.
All right, guys.
Aladdin is
Hold
good.
up. I will say this: that at this point in time, after Gemini Man's whatever the hell that was, like, bro, come on, dude. Like, I understand. Like, oh, I want Django to be about love. I'll tell you what, bro, you should have fucking done it.
Listen,
I'll tell you what, Matrix. I'll tell you what, Matrix, you should have fucking done it.
That's
should've-
the
it was
because you know what?
revolutionary.
Yeah, that's
He
his-
would have been in Matrix 4, and he would have been on that renaissance that these actors that are bringing their careers back with.
Keanu
Matthew
Reeves is
McConaughey,
only famous
Keanu
I don't
Reeves.
want to
of
see Matrix
But
4.
what-
I
that's
don't
what I'm
either.
saying.
feel
Yeah,
you.
I was.
I
That
feel
was.
you.
That's what I'm
I was with
saying.
you until the Matrix 4 part. I didn't.
No,
I didn't
no.
really need.
No,
I don't even
no.
need to see Matrix 3.
I understand that.
Keanu's
but
honestly
at the
whack
end
to
of the
me.
day,
But because of Matrix,
but Matrix was
It's carrying Keanu
groundbreaking.
Reeves.
Groundbreaking
Smith would've
for
took it to the
sci-fi
level.
movies,
No.
action movies. That movie itself changed the way
Fishman
movies are
did. What's his
made.
last name?
Fishburne.
Yeah, Fishburne.
Lawrence
All right,
Fishburne.
bro.
He
Don't
made-
Don't
Don't
disrespect Lawrence
disrespect
Fishburne.
Fishburne.
Larry Fish, bro. Don't disrespect Lawrence Fishburne.
I like Lawrence Fishburne because his daughter's a porn star. But
Nice, nice.
but he made Keanu Reeves
No.
the one. He
Look,
did.
I'll say this. Now
That's the
referring.
dumbest statement I've heard.
He did.
Look,
If there was no Morpheus, bro,
Ain't no Morpheus. Ain't no Matrix.
Ain't no Matrix.
I feel you on that. But let's
he
flip.
wasn't even the first person that was supposed to be Morpheus. He just. But go ahead.
That's
Exactly.
the movie
That's what I'm
Matrix
saying.
now at this point. But
Neither
let's,
was Keanu
let's,
Reeves.
Let's go ahead and flip the conversation right back to Gemini Man. Let's talk about that briefly. Me and Nick went to go see it on our vacation in Tampa.
Ruined the vacation.
wow, what a horrible thing to do.
Wow, I'm talking
What were
about.
your-
I
what
told
were
him
your-
they
the
should have
first
watched
thing
five. Watched
I was
Fire
in
Stick
Tampa.
with
The
me
second
the
thing
night
was I
before
saw
that.
Where was
Gemini
your
Man.
exact quotes after that film?
Hold on. So wait. So first off, what Swaff said. You're absolutely right. I should have watched it on bootleg.
We
He
just-
literally told me a week before we went to go see it, and I was just preaching like, bro, I'm seeing it in theaters. I'm gonna support. I'm gonna do what I can to see you see my dog do.
Should have whole boxed that bitch.
Man, I should have red boxed
We
that.
saw-
bitch. I
but we
wouldn't
saw it
did
on-
red box
we saw it
on
on
that
a
motherfucker.
discount.
I wouldn't even did bird box on that motherfucker. Eyes closed. I wouldn't even watch the shit. You got me fucked up. I wasted my hard-earned cash on that shit. Gemini Man.
We only spent like $6.
Said I would have watched
The
that on
fuck?
Bird
It's
Box.
cancer season, nigga. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? It's Sagittarius season. Talking about some Gemini Man. That was some bullshit, Will. Come
Libra
on.
season.
Now, I'll say this. Will did his job. Now, I'll say what Nick said. As soon as I left, first of all, throughout the thing, I'm checking my phone. I'm like, nigga, it's time to get the fuck up out of here. The beach is on the horizon. We was going to slide to the beach right after the movie. I'm like, I don't want to see this shit.
This is like 5 minutes into the film.
I don't want to see this
Y'all
shit.
were hating on that shit
I
because
don't
it
say- you know
wasn't
what?
that
It
bad.
wasn't 5
Again,
minutes.
it was a solid movie.
You said it was a bad movie.
It wasn't 5 minutes in.
It was a solid movie.
You
He
told
was,
me
he hyped it.
did
It
he
wasn't
not-
5 minutes in. It was halfway through the movie, bro. I'm checking my phone, bro.
He checked it like 6 times.
When it got to the part, spoil alert. So if you didn't watch it, matter of fact, don't watch it.
They hating.
Hey, spoil alert. When he got to the point where he checked in to get his boat and he was having a conversation with the woman sitting at the desk, and he's like, he asked her, he knew she was an agent. He's interrogating her, and it went
In the
to,
worst
like,
way.
In the worst way. His parameter of questions went from, yeah, let me get my boat, and then it slid to, oh yeah, who are you? And then it slid into, oh yeah, you're a spy. I know you. Your cover's blown, and she's still acting and keeping this facade. I'm like, it's too many. And then all of a sudden, it ended up, all right, well, let's go get dinner. I'm like,
What?
okay.
All right,
it's
let me
too
break
many
down that
holes.
scene and how it really happened.
It's too many holes in this movie, bro.
She was suspicious because she replaced the guy that was working at that dock for years, and he had been going there. So that already raised some red flags. So then he asked her simply, oh, you go to school? What are you studying? She said this, this. And she was like, oh, okay, well, name me 3 buildings on the campus. She got a little defensive, like, what? Excuse me? So he started poking and prodding like any agent who's aware would do.
We're talking about the flow of the conversation.
The flow of the
The
conversation.
flow of the conversation was fine.
The flow of
No,
the
it
conversation
wasn't.
was horrible.
Because if you were a blown
What?
agent, hold on. If
What
you're
universe are you
if
from?
you're a,
Like, where is
they,
that okay?
They described Will Smith as a top-notch agent. Like, that's how Cody was. He was so cold, they had to duplicate him and clone him.
He's a bad
before he
dude.
retired.
Yeah.
So he was that cold. So if a code agent that reputable interrogates another agent and your cover's blown, you're not gonna respond in that fashion.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a fight scene.
You're gonna
It's
fight
not no
scene.
fight
You're
scene.
checking in the command. What's going on? Hey, my cover been blown. Abort. Like, nah. Like, oh, it goes into, oh, let's go get dinner. And now they
Because
say, get the
even
fuck
to
outta
that
here.
extent, he knew she was an
That
agent.
sound like some Me Too ass bullshit. And if it was any regular man and he was interrogating a woman like that, your ass is going to jail.
Me too.
Oh my god.
Flat out, bro.
Hashtag
Nigga,
Will too.
it was clones. What do you mean? It's not like this shit is that realistic. Shit.
Hashtag
So
Will don't do it.
You're getting graded on the curve then.
Quit saying I'm grading it on
On
a
a
curve,
curve,
nigga.
bro.
I'm grading it on the laws of that world that movie was in.
That's a curve.
No, it's not.
It's
nigga,
the movie,
what the
bro.
Fuck?
So,
That's like,
what would you give Gemini Man out of 10? Be honest.
I would give it a 7.
Wow.
That's a lie.
Wow.
He meant 7 pounds. That's another movie.
That's a better
I want you
7
to rate
pounds
this
of
Gemini
shit.
man.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 7.
7
you would
pounds
not,
of
bro.
absolute
Listen,
dog
He
shit.
literally told us it was a bad film, bro.
I had to rewatch it.
Let me finish the rest. So
No, you won't. You don't want to.
excluding that, Ang Lee, I feel like he is a visionary when it comes to how you shoot cinematic
He
flicks
is.
in the future.
Yes.
I give him that, but that's also his weakness because that's all the nigga know how to do. He don't know how to compile
He don't know how to
a
write.
writing story, a good flow plot, something that actually maps all the way around. You know, like kind of like sitcoms, and I hate to compare a sitcom, but it's just on top of the dome. Like How I Met Your Mother, how they map shit out together, how shit met something for something else, even when you continue to watch it throughout the season. That's how a good movie is supposed to be, and that was not represented there. Another thing is some of the shit where he's supposed to be known for, Ang Lee, that is the director. The CGI was god awful. It's kind of like Lion King, where
That's the thing.
they were
It's-
complaining about the animals not having certain expressions.
The
and shit
fight
like that.
scenes look like video games because they move at a higher frame per minute.
Yeah.
So like once you see Will Smith,
What's wrong with that?
Stunt double. Hold on. Stunt
the
double.
fuck?
Will Smith kicking the shit out of, not Will Smith, right? So when you see Will Smith kicking the shit out of Will Smith, it looks horrible.
The best-
Okay, hold on. Hold the
horrible.
fucking
The
phone,
best
bro.
scenes were when they were in dark. When the last scene where the kid was outside in the light in college, it looked like it was like, why the fuck did they even do this CGI shit in the first place?
Right.
Look, y'all are talking
That was
about
another hole
dumb
in
shit.
the movie.
All right, y'all talking about shit that Will Smith had. Like, what? How does that reflect on Will Smith's acting? First off,
it's picking
second
laws.
off, have you seen a John Wick film? You like John Wick?
I do.
Those fight scenes are way worse than these.
Are you?
These niggas, literally, if you
Cut
look,
his mic off.
if you literally
Cut
look
his
at
mic
these
off.
niggas,
Let him
they're literally
finish.
shuffling
Let
around.
him
Like you
finish.
can look at the niggas who he's attacking. He had a knife fight in the most recent one, bro. I was looking at them doing rehearsed moves. I'm like, obviously it's rehearsed, but when I can visually see it, when I notice it, that's not good action. You don't see that with Will Smith's movie Gemini Man.
Suave.
That action, it might have been high paced.
Suave.
What's wrong with that, nigga?
We spoke.
It's a world of
we
clones.
spoke about that
He's
knife
one
fight
of the
scene.
best agent in the world. It's gonna be high
So,
paced.
so let me ask you a question. Which one do you think is a better film, John Wick 3 or Gemini Man?
Gemini Man.
Okay.
Willie?
So he's clearly drunk at this point. In the
Wow. Wow. I damn near had to take the suit coat off in this one.
Damn near took my
Willie,
shirt
what
off.
you think? Which one is the
Are
better
y'all
film?
really that
What's the better
hype
film?
on John Wick?
John Wick 3 or
3?
Gemini?
All three
Listen,
John Wick movies are fire.
Listen. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say I'm not that impressed with John Wick 3 either. Let's
I'm
keep
not.
it a buck. But
But-
I am gonna say that the action sequences were way better and more fluent, and the story was more put together. Than Gemini
John
Man.
Wick?
Now listen. I'll say this, Swaff. This is how it affects Will Smith picking roles like this based off Gemini
It
Man's
scares you.
history,
It scares
how it's
me.
been up in the air for so long, and him picking this role. It's like I understand you have an eye and you want to be a visionary for technological / cinematic
Advancements.
advancement, how shit is going to be shot in the future. Cool. But let it end at that. Let Gemini Man be your last one. Him picking a
Please.
role like that,
Please.
no, bro. And to be honest with you, it was too much Will Smith. Let's keep it a buck. Another spoiler alert.
Damn.
Another clone comes in, and it's 3 Will Smith clones. The real Will Smith, the clone Will Smith, who he's trying to persuade to have a better life, and then the other Will Smith, who was the last rogue clone trying to kill both of them. They're all debating on. He was like, yeah, have a better life. Don't you do it. And then they ran into the guy who did it all, and now they're arguing in front of the quote-unquote father, because Will Smith, the agent, he was an orphan, and so the dude raised him to be a soldier. The clone, it was a little bit same, but he used the clone as that was his real son. And Will Smith was like, they're training you to be a weapon. We want you to go to school, be in love. If I'm going to do it over. Like, Will Smith, shut the fuck up. Fuck all this love shit.
It's so disappointing
Like, it
because
don't make sense.
I remember when I first read about this movie, like coming into direction. Ang Lee was directing. Will Smith wasn't attached yet, right? So when I first read about it, I was like, damn, this shit is gonna be fire.
Yeah.
Just based off of story, action wise, and by what Ang Lee brings to the table, I'm like, dope. I believe in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because think about it, action movies right now, shoot 'em up action movies are all the hype because of movies like John Wick. And not only that,
Fast and
because
Furious.
faster, but we'll get into that later. But what I'm saying is that I was excited for it, and especially when Will Smith came on, I was definitely excited for it.
yeah.
I was like, if there's anyone that needs a resurgence in their career,
It's Will.
it's Will Smith.
And let me go into this. We're obviously going into the decline of Will Smith. My question to you guys is, where do you think Will Smith's career took the first decline? Like, where did it start? And I'll start off with this quote from Variety that I got from, I think it was in 2017. There was an article written, and it said that Will Smith insists that he learns from his mistakes. His first stumble was turning down The Matrix for Wild Wild West. Though he swears he found a strange comfort when the cowboy flick flopped, its failure was a sign that he'd gone off course. Promoting something because he wanted it to win versus promoting something because he believed in it. With every flop, he feels like he's gotten more philosophical. So that is, for me, when I asked that question, where do you think the decline started? It's when he started thinking like that. At first, I was kind of hesitant as far as, you're always kind of wary of your actors only picking box office roles because you actually want to see them do more range. But because of the flops, he went in a direction as far as I want things that touch me personally, or that makes me want to get up in the morning to actually do this and commit to this project, which isn't a bad mindset, but it's like Willie was saying, it was kind of like too much Will Smith, and you kind of feel like it's just too like for you to turn down Django because it didn't end in a love story. Like, who gives a fuck about what you really think?
and in the end, he gets the girl.
It's all about
He gets the girl.
It's all about, for me, it's more like you pick projects that challenge you as an actor, that showcase your best skill set.
Exactly.
And if you let a director like Tarantino, who's obviously a legendary director, one of the top 20 directors of all time, you let that person just be submissive to his process. Be submissive to other people's processes to see if that actually works for you. When you are stubborn in your head to only pick things that you only care about, you're going to end up doing shit that when we judge your resume,
off course.
we have to blame you because you picked this and you were the one who guided this whole thing. Like you were saying, Suave, he wanted to change that whole storyline in Django to make it something different to where you probably wouldn't even like that film if it was the Will Smith version of it. So that's where I see.
That shit would have been soft as
when
hell.
it comes to his decline, it starts in 2008 for me. after what was the film? After 7
pounds.
pounds. Yep.
7 pounds in Hancock.
Well,
I don't even
obvi-
think 7 pounds or Hancock.
Well,
were good,
obviously,
so.
I don't think
They were-
there's
they were
really
pretty
been a
good.
decline. I think he's just gone with what every actor goes through, which is a roller coaster in their career. I mean, and I like that mentality he has as far as he picks things that touches him. Who gives a fuck about what we think? We are peons to his life.
He has to care about us because
No, he doesn't.
we're the fans. We're the
No,
ones
he
that
doesn't.
we're
the
the ones
fans
that
that-
buy tickets.
No,
there's a reason
no,
why.
it's not.
There's a reason why he's gonna have to listen to Willie's criticism because
He's
Willie is a
past
fan
that.
of
Maybe
his.
if he was a up and coming.
So you don't listen to your fans at all
No, you shouldn't.
as an art. So you're a
As
musician.
an artist, no, I'm not gonna give a fuck about what my fans want to hear. I make music. I make music for me, and if people resonate with my story, my message, all the better. But I'm never gonna change what I do for the sake of the fans. It's impossible, bro. It's impossible.
Willie, how do you feel about
it's
that?
Not
It's-
about
'cause you're a
changing.
Have you ever tried to please somebody else? Like, do you?
That's
ju-
not what I'm saying.
Yeah, it
That's not what
is, bro.
that's-
It is what you're
that's
saying.
the-
You're
the
saying he
caveat.
should act as if he wants to please us somewhat.
No, I
It's
didn't. I
a-
did not say that.
it's
at
a
all.
little
I
bit-
literally said what my point was.
It's a little bit of half a half. It's a little bit of fans' perspective because you got to cater to the fans. You always got to give them what they want to see, what they want to hear, and what they grew up watching you and loved and
They're the
you were
ones that
inspired
feed you,
for.
bro. They're the
You know,
ones that
those are your
feed
core
you.
fans. I can say, however, that I am not going to change my being or my character or what my preference is or what I believe in based off my fans, what they want to see me in. Now,
And that's not
I
necessarily
do-
being a sellout.
and that's not being a sellout, but I do believe it is a happy medium. I believe Will Smith needs a filter, quote unquote, team to filter out these scripts. All right, Will, these are the ones that we believe that can be prime time for you. Now, out of these 10, which ones do you feel that best fit with what you believe in? And then let's go ahead and do these movies.
And Swaff,
I feel like he doesn't have
And
that.
Swaff, what I was saying was, I started off saying like what you were. I agree with you when it comes to the point of you picking things that make you want to get up in the morning. You picking things that make you feel good about what you're doing as far as your craft, your art, your workmanship. But when it comes to what Will Smith has done, in my opinion, he's gone to the extreme to where he's stubborn and he isn't really listening to anyone else. He's only doing shit that he wants to do wholeheartedly without taking that criticism seriously. Like, just because we're not saying do all the movies that I want to see you in, it's like I want to see you challenged in these films. I don't care. I don't really have a guideline of what makes a great film, but I know one when I see it.
It's a great
as
area.
an
There is-
actor, you
there
can
is an
tell
area.
he's past that. He's
No,
challenged
he
himself.
isn't.
He challenged
Let him
himself
finish,
as
let him
much as he was going to.
You
the
think
length-
he challenged himself in Gemini Man?
What we've seen from Will Smith, any movie where you say, all right, that's the most he's challenged himself. That was probably gonna be, when it comes to that conversation, that's his peak. That's as much as he's gonna go outside of his box.
What do you
Other
think
than
what
that,
do you
he
think that
doesn't
film,
have to
What
do
do you think
that.
that film was?
If I had to point all this out, that film was iRobot.
Okay.
What?
Oh my god.
Ali, go ahead. What you?
That was iRobot.
that-
No,
that
I'm not done though. So when when you talk about that conversation of the artist choosing, he's at that point in his career where he chooses what he wants to do. He doesn't have to bend to y'all because he's already gonna get paid. His name is gonna get him paid.
That's not-
even if it's disappointing in box office to what its expectations were. It doesn't matter.
So
He's
money's
gonna
the
get paid.
motivation?
No, it's not the motivation. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because if it was the motivation, he would go by what y'all want because y'all quote unquote put food on his table. No, y'all put food on his table starting way back early on in his career, and because of that, he's gonna always have food on his table. He no longer has to come out and treat this like, oh, I gotta do this for the numbers,
Well, you
or
realize
else I'm not gonna
in
eat.
You
high
realize-
regard. We
you realize-
hold him like that.
you
That's
realize
us.
his-
That's us glamorizing. That's us
I'm
glamorizing
saying-
and putting him on a pedestal that he didn't ask to be on. He just happened to be there by his selections
But
up
he
front.
is more of
Now
an
we don't
actor
agree
right
with
now
his
than a
selections.
musician.
I just told you that he
And
started
Now
off
we
his
don't agree with
career.
his selections,
This
and all
is
of a
his
sudden,
career,
Hold on,
bro.
one
we're
voice at
supposed
a
to
time.
act like he's.
I just literally told you the first part of his career, he literally wanted to be box office. That's literally asking to be the number one guy. I want you to like me. I want to be that guy. That's literally asking for
Exactly.
that. And
He doesn't have to do that anymore.
He doesn't have to do anything. He doesn't have to act anymore. He's fine.
He wouldn't.
He doesn't have to do shit.
Exactly.
You're right.
So
So that's not what we're talking about. We're
It
talking
is.
about
You're making
we're
it seem
talk-
like he should listen to you as a
No,
fan.
I'm not saying listen
It's-
to me.
it's
I
a-
literally just said he needs to challenge himself as an actor. He needs to listen to others,
It
not
is a-
me. Listen to others.
It's
That's
a great.
the same thing.
no, others as far
Obviously,
as
when I say you saying he's listening to you, I'm not saying you, Nick.
No, I'm
saying
saying
you
the
as a fan.
Yes, a fan. Yes, I'm talking about directors.
I don't think he needs to listen to per se fans all the way. Like I said, he needs to hire a team that understands what Will Smith's values are, his morals, and
needs to
what
put better
roles he will
people
accept.
around him.
Then that team also needs to figure out what are the best roles to put Will Smith in that is going to not only highlight what he believes in, but also his performance that could be potentially Oscar worthy.
Perfect. I couldn't say it
And
better myself.
then we can go ahead and execute from there. I feel like that's the gray area. Will Smith, where we all disagree, or at least between us and you, is just that. Yeah, he makes what he wants to make, but when you talk about, a top actors list, it's like, Will, I can't keep defending you if you keep picking bullshit roles like this.
I will say
that
that I will say this, and it's just like it's mind blowing to me because I love Will Smith, and I've been a great fan of his for the longest. I mean, since Fresh Prince days. But it's just like, dude, like who is around you that's passing you these scripts under the door?
Who is
Here
it?
is this script from a movie that's been in production for 18 years, but you said no to Django by Tarantino, one of the greatest writers that we have in Hollywood right now. And that's not like
We
that's
know
not even
why
close.
he said no to
No,
that,
no.
though. Why did he say
That's a
yes
very
to this? And that's the
stupid
answer
reason.
that's
It's a
the question you
and
need
he
to be
did-
asking.
and that's
Y'all
what-
it was a
don't-
dumb reason.
Y'all don't
And he-
care about
and
the reason.
It was a dumb reason.
I
It was
told-
a
it's
dumb
not.
reason.
I,
Dumb
underst-
reason.
I understand where he's coming from, but like Willie is stating, again, a whole decade's worth of body of work that we only can pick out one or two films. Are you serious?
It's not working. Like, I understand your values and your roles. Like, if you want to continue to act and do your own shit, cool. But ain't nobody gonna watch it.
And that's,
if you keep trending in this direction.
And if you want to, just like you're an artist, you make music. If you want to keep making music, the music that you want to do, that's fine. But if you want to make money and live off of this, you're gonna have to do certain things that validate that paycheck or that value to bring to your craft.
That's the life he chose.
It's the life you choose.
And I'm
Your
sorry,
life, you-
Jamie
That's not
ended up
correct.
getting this girl at the end. Like Ali said, Jamie ended up getting this girl at the end. So it was a love story.
It
I remember
was a
he
love
picked her up.
story.
He rode her in the sunset
Right.
on a cowboy. Like, what else could you want,
That's
Will
not
Smith?
that's not what his issue was. His issue was
the violence
specifically
in the movie.
Yeah, the
no,
violence.
no. It's the fact that they resolved it all. It could be violence in a movie. He's had action movies. There's been violence
Yeah,
in his movies.
it ends
What
with
was his
violence.
They
problem with
resolved
this one?
the issues through violence. They did not come to an agreement. They did not come to any type of medium. He killed
Would
them
you rather
when they
see-
disagreed.
Would you have rather seen that version than the one that we got?
What do you call?
What, some love resolution?
Yeah.
What do you
No.
call? What do you call? Let's keep it a buck. What do you call Men in Black? They resolved it through violent action. What else do you call Independence Day? They
Violent
resolved it through violent action.
Enemy of the
Let's
state.
keep it a buck.
No.
Enemy of the
no.
State ended in violent
Bro,
action.
come
Right.
on, bro.
No.
Enemy of the State didn't end
You
in
said
violent.
Bad Boys. They resolved
Violent-
all of
it was
these-
resolved through
all of
violent
these-
action.
All
And
these had circled
continuous
that
violence.
theme of love, though. They did.
They did not.
Come
sing
on,
theme
bro.
love.
Like,
Yes, they
it's
did.
not
Independence
enough,
Day,
Will.
the world had to come together. You don't remember that big ass speech? We're
Dude.
fighting for the world.
Dude, if I'm looking
What was
through,
the other
if
one
I-
you named?
It was still resolved. It was resolved
If
through
I
violence.
am looking through Will
There was
Smith,
guns involved, missiles involved, wars involved.
if I'm
Next,
looking at
who
Will
else?
Smith's filmography,
Exactly.
I mean, no,
and
I'm
picking
telling
out-
you,
That's
the
the
Hold on,
traces
hold
of
on.
both.
Let Ali speak.
If I'm looking at Will Smith's filmography today and I'm picking out, I'll take two here. We'll put a 8-year gap between this. I'll take one here. I'll take one. I should not do that with with a high-profile actor like Will Smith, who literally has the ability. I don't like how you said, "Oh, he's out of that element now. He can't do it anymore." Yes, he can.
Yes, he
He
can.
is a great
What?
actor. He just
I said he's out of that
shitty.
element to have
He's
to
saying he doesn't have to do
cater.
that. He
No,
said-
he doesn't
yeah.
have
He
to
does.
cater to his fans.
I feel like
he does.
He
You're in
doesn't.
the entertainment business.
He
That's
does.
what you do it for.
I
to entertain
agree
your
with
Nah,
fans.
once you
I
get
would say
older,
this.
you do roles
I
that
would say
motivate
this.
you.
I
Just
would
like
say
they
this.
said, the roles that get you out of
Gemini
bed.
Man,
That's not true,
So
bro. All the
Gemini
way
Man
true.
came out what?
I mean,
all the way
that's
true.
true for Will Smith, clearly.
And that's why he's failing right now.
So Gemini Man
not
kind
failing,
of
it's
came
getting
out
paid.
at the end of the year to save the box office numbers, kind of, and also to fight off movies like The Joker or whatever it is. This movie is the biggest flop like ever.
They lost
And I-
$75
and I would
million
say-
dollars in
Jesus
sales.
Christ.
And I would say
Come
this,
on, bro.
I would say this, Swap. I agree with you when it comes to your premise of he doesn't have to do shit. We don't have to do. None of us have to do anything.
Right.
But when it comes to when you are judged as an A-list actor, your resume has to prove that. Otherwise, you're not who you think you are. You know what I'm saying? And that goes to my next question: is as far as why is he still billed as an A-list actor when his resume does not prove that?
It doesn't.
Bro, we listed out over 10 movies that well endowed
For a
put
career
him
that's
in.
been going on for like 40 fucking years. Okay.
No,
His
it's
career
not.
has not
No, it's
been
not.
even
Sorry,
going
sorry, I'm
on.
making
But
that
his
number
career's been going on for 2
He's
years.
been right. He's been rapping. He started acting at 25. The nigga's only 51.
That is not
So he's been acting acting less than rapping. Now let's keep it a buck here.
He is an actor.
I am going to say this, bro. I am going to say like
his filmography starts in '92, so it's been 27 years, so almost 3 decades now.
That's as old as I am.
We can take 1/3 of those decades out, and as far as his quality of work,
his greater movies. The 7 I named earlier, which I feel like it was his top Will Smith movies, Pursuit of Happiness, 7 Pounds, Aladdin, I Am Legend, Independence Day, Concussion, Ali. I give all those right there. That's enough alone to keep him in A actor status.
Exactly.
A minus
7
'cause he's
movies
on
in a
decline.
27-year career.
I'll say this. Now
No,
after
it's
watching
like 10, 12.
after watching Gemini Man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was ready to throw this nigga in the B category. And if he drops one more bullshit ass movie, he's sliding in the B. He's right now on the fences in my eyes as like, okay, Will, I can only defend you up to goddamn damn near 2020.
This is it.
Off your A-list status.
Y'all are just
It's because
fickle.
I loved you so much. It's not fickle.
It is fickle.
Fickle.
we're the ones who
Because
actually
y'all
paid money to
asking-
see Gemini
y'all
Man.
are
You did
asking-
not, so you
y'all are
can't even say
asking
you
the
a fan.
question- Y'all asking the question.
You can't say I'm fickle.
What have you done for me lately?
You can't say I'm fickle.
Instead of actually respecting what he's done in his career
Are you a fan
in
of
totality.
Are you a fan of the
Wow, what a
Cincinnati
cop-out.
Bengals?
What is Melo right now? Because what if you ask that same question?
Why are we
to
mentioning Melo?
Because
Can we stop
I
it?
want to connect with Nick because he's
Why are we
biased on this
mentioning Melo?
situation. You look at Melo as a decent player.
He's a
But
Hall
in
of Famer.
reality,
He's a Hall of Famer.
his past decade has been shitball, and so that would take him out of.
Shitball as far as what?
He's not a decent player.
His marriage, his players,
hasn't-
teams.
He
Nobody
hasn't been a
don't want
decent
this
player
nigga.
in 9-10 years.
He hasn't. I disagree
So,
with that.
with that being said, is he a decent player today? Yes, because his body speaks for him. Today, still.
I agree.
His reputation will always precede him for what he's done, the peaks he's reached.
I'm asking you this question.
I can count to top of Mount Everest. I don't got to stay there, nigga. I went there. I did that, conquered that, got the T-shirt. That should mean enough.
I'm asking you this question.
Go buy the
Are you
t-shirt,
are
too.
you a fan of the Cincinnati Bengals?
Yes.
Okay.
Boo.
As being a fan of the Cincinnati Bengals means that you've been through a lot of hardship, right?
Y'all,
And
why I keep comparing Will Smith to all these shit?
I'm not comparing.
Cincinnati, Melo.
I'm not comparing.
Are you serious?
I'm not comparing. Let me finish.
He ain't that shitty.
Let me
God damn, Nick.
I'm only comparing this. I'm only comparing the mindset that he has about Will Smith.
Okay.
So as far as the Cincinnati Bengals, you mentioned like we're fickle fans because we're only judging Will Smith on what he's done lately. If you're a fan of somebody, if you're a fan of a sports team and they haven't done shit for the team to make it better lately, could someone question you as far as like why are you still a fan of this team? Willie, you're from
That is completely different because the changers and the dynamics of the team are always changing. This is the same actor.
No, it's not. Andy Dalton's been the quarterback since what? 2010. Right?
Andy Dalton hasn't had a peak like
He went to 5 playoffs straight from starting out his
I
career.
feel what you're saying.
And in
I don't
2015,
stop.
in
Give us
2015 he was
pick
an
out was
MVP
about-
candidate.
Listen,
exactly.
I feel
And
what
that's
you're
why
saying.
that's the only reason I fall back on him, and that's the only reason he's still the quarterback. It's
I
not
feel-
because of what he's done lately.
I-
It's because it's what he did.
I feel what you're
then.
saying. I don't think that's a good analogy because it's a lot that
No,
plays into.
I'm talking about the mindset of you're allowed to be critical. Like he's saying that we're fair with the fans because we're only there because he hasn't. We are expecting him to bring something out. Like we want to see something great, and we're only gonna be around.
We need to see
if
something great as of late.
Yeah, we're only around because of the great shit. Like if he puts out anything, we're not gonna really go unless it's great. And I'm saying anybody, like if you're a fan of anything, you want to see greatness. That's why you're a fan because they brought something to you that you really like. When they stop doing that, that's when you can question your fandom.
No,
The Bengals has never
What are you
been
talking about?
great. I still don't
been-
understand that mindset.
I'm saying
I just-
I'm saying the reason why someone can ask you why are you a fan of the Bengals because they've been so shitty for so long. What makes you like them at all? For Will Smith to only have 2 good films in the last decade, my nieces haven't been long enough to even seen a good Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? So they don't even have to be a fan. So like when people talk about him, they could be like, "Why the fuck do y'all like this nigga? I haven't ever since I've been alive. This nigga's been throwing out shit. Maybe I
that's
can
when you
argue
show
too."
them the greatness.
exactly.
You have to go all the way
That's
back.
like
Will Smith has
The
something
Bengals,
great.
the Bengals
to
went
show.
to the Bengals went to the Super Bowl in the '80s, but that's irrelevant right now. Because going back to your point, Suave, you said
That's why I think this
you
is a
said-
bad analogy.
No, because
Like,
it goes
fuck
back.
the
That's
Bengals.
why it's a
the
bad
highest
analogy
they've
because you're
ever
talking
been.
about a brand like shit.
No, I'm-
Will Smith's brand
I'm going back
at
to-
an all-time
I'm
high
going
right
back
now.
to I'm going back to what Willie was talking about when he said that his all-time actors list. You questioned it because you said most of those actors on his list are irrelevant right now because most of their great body of work are in the past. That's what I'm saying about Will Smith.
Right. Okay. So if we're gonna compare those artists on the same
Plateau?
in the same rubric as Will Smith, then no, they don't compare because one of the ones I had a problem with was Jack Nicholson because he hasn't put out shit since Departed for real. Nothing good, and that was in 2006.
I thought he was referring to. He said the question said top.
It was alive. It was alive.
Alive.
Right.
That's what I'm
So
going.
you
by.
put Will
You
Smith
didn't say right now.
at that, not what he's done for you lately. You don't take that as more weight because it's as late. No, you take his highs for his highs, his lows for his lows. That's what I'm saying. Like you're
But
trying
a 10-year low.
Right.
Yes, he's an actor.
Bruh,
He doesn't
it's
have
been
to
a-
put out that
no.
shit like that.
That's a long low, bro.
That's a long.
It is a long low, bro. You damn near off the map. He's still fighting though. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that
Him
bro,
and Johnny Depp are in the same boat. How about
That's
that?
like, all right, let me say this. All right, so you married for 30 years, right? The last 10 years, your chick's pussy's been garbage. All right, are you possibly thinking about getting a divorce?
No, because the pussy was good for 20 years. But
that's
it's been low
loyalty
for-
right there. No, that's a good
But
marriage.
it's been low
That's
for
a good
10.
marriage.
That's a good ass. marriage.
That's why he's a
No,
fan.
But I
I'm
understand your
I'm-
thinking,
I'm-
which is why I
I'm
say
the
you're
same
fickle.
with Will Smith. No, I'm the
Because
same
that's a
with Will
fickle
Smith.
mind state. Like
Now-
to say, what have you done for me lately? That's like, nigga, if people were evaluating us like that, shit, we might not have some friends. Shit, real talk.
I mean, let's keep it a buck. But the shit that Will Smith has accomplished, bro, it's enough to keep him at his A status for right now. I said right now, going into the new decade, I feel like he's at the precipice where it's like, listen, he got some future movies, The Bad Boys 3, and then the one where he plays Serena Williams' father, and that story. These two.
He's got a
This
lot
is-
riding on that, bro.
This is going.
Not
This
a
is what
lot
he's riding
riding on
on.
that, bro.
If he fucks these up, it's over.
It's
bro.
over, bro.
It's over.
Sorry,
if
if
he,
you ever stand
I'm
for Will
sorry.
Smith
Here's what I'll tell you.
I'm
It's over.
sorry.
It's over when we are no
Say
longer
it's over.
excited
When we
about
say
Will
it's
Smith's movies.
And
I'm no longer
And
excited about
I
Will
am-
Smith.
he's lying because
You're
he's
lying
gonna
'cause you're
watch
excited
Bad
about
Boys
that
3.
role.
He's
You're
gonna watch-
excited about Bad Boys
Exactly.
3.
To be
Bad
honest
Boys
with
3,
you,
I'm more interested in Martin Lawrence. than
to
Will
be
Smith.
honest with you, I'm not gonna watch
He's
Bad
lying.
Boys 3 in theaters. I'm not.
You're watching
not
Bad
more
Boys
excited
3.
about Martin Lawrence.
I won't watch it in theaters.
You're watching Bad Boys 3.
I am not watching
You
that
are
theaters.
lying.
I am not.
All
I
I'm
am
going
not.
to say is this:
Blown up.
after these two
Right.
films,
Right.
bro, this is really going to determine. Okay, where is Will Smith going to really?
Are you counting Spies in Disguise, or are you talking about the live action shit?
Spies in Disguise is going to be a nice
Spies
little
in
check
Disguise.
on his resume.
Because kids
It's
are
a kids
stupid.
movie. You're not counting, right?
No, just because
I'm not really,
not
really.
Hashtag I love the kids.
He's going to
Animated
get
movies
paid.
are
I
always
mean,
great.
but in regards to, I'm
Into the
talking
Spider-Verse.
about stuff that's actually going to be noticeable.
one
in his
Hold on,
career.
hold on. Too many conversations going on. Willie, what
Yeah,
you
I was
saying?
just saying, as far as for stuff that's going to be noticed, Spies in Disguise, it sounds like it's a piece of shit. Might as well act in Where's Waldo.
It
or
has
some
Spider-Man
shit.
in it.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck Spider-Man.
Tom
Okay?
Holland.
We're talking about good Will Smith and what's going to establish his career, and then it's not going to be no Spies in Disguise. Okay?
Why not? It did it for Dory.
When you got to stretch that
talking about
far-
Ellen?
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about
He
Dora
could have
the
it-
Explorer.
He's
Look,
comparing
after
Ellen's
Spies in
filmography to Will Smith. That's how far
after
he's
Spies
fallen.
in Disguise 2 goes, Will Smith could have a hit talk show, just like Ellen.
I think that's what
He already does, doesn't he?
That's no. That's
On
No,
his
Facebook,
wife.
on Facebook
That's
Watch.
his wife.
No, he has his own bucket list show.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
It's not a talk.
Goes
show.
to show how much
I don't think
know
it's a
about Will
talk
Smith.
show, but I don't think Facebook Live counts either. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
What
Let's-
the
I mean,
fuck
Red
is
Table
Not-
Facebook?
if you're comparing to Ellen DeGeneres, let's just keep it fair.
That's how shitty he thinks Will Smith is.
Owen
No,
DeGeneres.
I'm
like
saying
Will
Oh,
Smith.
DeGeneres.
his trajectory
is.
Will
his trajectory is definitely
Will
dependent
Smith-
upon his
Okay,
next two
1 to
films.
10. What type of actor is Will Smith? Take out A list
What do
and
you
B
mean?
list.
What do you mean? What-
1 to 10. What do you rank?
10 is the
Will
highest?
Smith? 10 is the highest.
4.
1 is the worst. He said
said
4.
Wow.
I give him an 8.5.
I give him 7.5.
Like as of right now,
Just in totality.
In
Not like what
totality?
have you done for me lately, but even
I
if
give
you
him 8.5. I agree with you.
okay.
8.5.
Now
that's A-list.
No. I would give him that 8.5 if he had more prominent acting roles. But given he just does, I'm gonna shoot this dude in the face, or I gotta give 7 pounds of bullshit to
look,
somebody.
look.
You talking
Gemini
about John
Man-
Wick or who you talking about?
Will Smith.
I'm talking
You
about
talking about dead? What you talking about? Deadshot and Suicide Squad?
yeah, and
And
7
he-
pounds.
it's a-
Will- shit.
Oh, that's another one. Suicide Squad. Like you
7
you
pounds
pick
ain't shit nobody
Suicide
in his
Squad, but not
Bruh.
Django. But we'll continue to move on.
What I'm
all-
saying is, if
It ended with
now,
his daughter.
Now let's just say, Concussion was a good starting point for Will Smith to kind of do something like that in his career, right?
Right.
If he kind of stick to that script, which is that low cut indie movie kind of not a huge blockbuster movie, but
Yeah.
Will Smith's name is on it.
Yeah.
And people will go to the theater to see
And
it.
I feel like you see the best of Will Smith when he has decent supporting roles around him. Not
Yes.
necessarily blockbusters, like
Thank
top
you.
notch. Not necessarily the shitball of the shit, or just Will Smith in a movie.
Thank you.
He needs the right supporting cast, and
Absolutely.
he will shine.
And it's just like that's the thing. If he kind of took what he learned from Concussion, because Concussion was
It was good.
It was a really good movie.
He got some up,
and
bro.
it was not bad. It was good. Some people might say great because of what it shined a light on, you know? But
Absolutely,
if
and it came
he-
in a timely manner.
If he had piggybacked off of the success of Concussion and done some roles like that, right? I feel like we would be having a different conversation about Will Smith. And now he would warrant that 8.5 score. He gets a 4 because I'm picking 2 between 18 other fucking movies he's done.
And to go back to as far
saying.
as far as Will Smith's awareness, he is aware of a lot of things that we say, a lot of criticism. I think to Swap's point, he doesn't care at this point. He's going to continue to him. But again, going back to the article I mentioned from Variety in 2017, Will Smith was speaking to a film festival audience in 2016, and this is a quote from him saying, "I consider myself a marketer. My career has been strictly about being able to sell my products globally, but the power has gone away. The power is now in the hands of the audience, in the hands of the fans. The only choice I have is to be in tune with their needs, not to try to trick them into going to see another Wild Wild West." So as you can see, he's become more strategic in his marketing, which I think right now one of the best glowing things you can say about his career is that he's redefined Instagram. As far I think he's the king of Instagram right now.
He knows how to market the shit out of it.
He has the best Instagram page that I've probably ever seen and probably ever will see.
Even YouTube, right? Like he has some stuff on YouTube.
Yeah,
I
he
think-
does have a good push on YouTube too.
Yeah, he has a
But
good push on YouTube.
That's him saying, I still don't give a fuck what y'all think in film, but I will engage with y'all on a level that I know my fans are at now, which is on the internet, social media.
yeah.
Connecting with them in those ways.
He needs to.
On the silver screen, he's still going to do well. He's still choosing those films for him. He's not catering to what he just said does not apply to film, clearly.
So,
I swear to
so
God.
Willie, you almost brought up a question as far as, and it's slightly going off the question I have, as far as are you checking for any more Will Smith movies moving forward? How many movies you mentioned he's got 2 more chances before you as far as you paying to see his films?
Yeah,
or
I mean,
just like
as
you
far as not just me, but as anybody, it's highly anticipated. Bad Boys 3, and then that's Serena Williams, the biopic
King.
about her father in Compton, raising those 2 girls.
So if those 2 are like Gemini Man as far as quality, where would you moving forward? Are you still going to give him chances?
No, not at all. I would still enjoy Will Smith as an
entity.
entertainment entity, a Mongol. I respect him for what he's did in the past, but as far as for spending my hard-earned cash to go see that shit,
No, thank you.
Absolutely not. I'm sorry.
I
can only support so far, bro.
There is
I mean,
something
come
that,
on, it's got to be a turning point.
Like Will Smith's got to go to drawing board fucking A. Like he's got to go back and reevaluate some of the fucking things that are coming to his door. Because he's Will Smith, he is still getting movie offers
From everybody.
From everybody. That's the thing. Will Smith will get a job.
He got business.
He will get business.
The money's gonna
but
come in.
now it's about what job will he take?
Exactly.
We're
Will he
gonna
do
keep
that?
seeing his
Will
movies.
he do that sequel to Bright? God, I hope
Oh, yeah.
fucking not.
Yes, he is.
Will
It's
he
been
do?
announced.
Will he
It's
do?
already been
Will
announced.
he do Gemini Man? Would it be 4 or would it be 2? Now, so like, what is up, bro?
I would say this for me. This is one of the last questions. as
Bad
far
Boys
as
3. Fuck.
What
really?
kind of
Really?
projects do I
They
want to
need
see Will Smith attached to moving forward? I want to see him more. I'm more interested in the directors he works with now, as far as that
Yes.
to judge. Because I've realized that when you follow great directors, you usually get great films. And I would love to see him in like a Ryan Coogler film. I would love to see someone like you mentioned, Tarantino, someone who knows how to write, produce, and direct
Absolutely.
on
And
a level that's like triumphant. To
But you
where
know what's funny, Nick? It's like it's not gonna hurt his career if he did something like an indie movie. It's not gonna.
But he never would. Do
I
that.
want him
That's
to
the
try
thing, but I know
something
for a
low
fact-
budget.
That's
But he's
what
not
I'm
gonna do
saying.
that. You just mentioned that.
That's Bright.
But that's the thing.
He wants to get paid as a
no,
high-paid
no.
actor.
Bright had a pretty big budget.
Bright had a
Really?
big budget. Yeah,
Yeah.
one of the
It was
biggest
me.
on Netflix.
I think it was
had
the
a
biggest
dragon.
Yeah.
It's not helping Will's
Oh, it was
case.
far away, but like, they had a
They had a
dragon.
dragon?
Yeah, like flying in the skyline over L.A. They had a dragon like flying over.
Well, at the time, it was the biggest budget Netflix
Right,
ever did for a film.
But like what I'm saying is that if he does something small, right, and he shows his acting prowess, like he shows that he can still act, which we know, I think we can agree, he can, right?
Yes.
He can still act. So if he can show something, flex his muscles a little bit, aside from holding a gun next to Martin Lawrence, it's just like if he can do that to me, then he's in my good graces. But that King movie where he's playing Serena and Venus's dad, that's my make it or break it. I know for a fact Bad Boys 3 is going to be shit.
It's
I
not
know
going to be shit.
Bruh.
You're
It
hyping.
is right now.
You're
Mark my
hyping.
It
words.
is
What's today's
because
date?
Martin Lawrence looks like
9:50
shit.
October 24th. Clock it. It's
You look
gonna
like
be
shit.
Martin
dog
Lawrence is going to be the one thing that drags that down.
shit.
Unfortunately,
because
I fuck
he
with
is the
Martin Lawrence
fucking
because
weight
his name is
dragging
Marcus.
it down. So what I'm saying is
You a hater.
that Bad Boys 3 is going to be garbage. I'm looking forward to King, Serena, and Venus's dad.
That's
because
just make or
that-
break it, bro.
That is make it
That's
or break
just
it.
make or
and
break
that
it.
is something that is high profile. Not only that, because Serena's name is attached to it, and not only that, but it's just like, dude, this guy is an icon. If you know anything about the Williams family,
And think
He
about
is
it.
an
Think about it. It
icon.
kind of put him in back in that daddy pursuit of happiness,
which
kind
is
of
where
where
he
we
shines.
But
best
it's
seen
also-
him
but it's
in,
also-
in going against adversity
yes.
and doing something legendary and
Yes.
iconic.
It's also a
It's true story,
It's
too.
also a possibly challenging role because there is some controversy with it. Not
Yeah.
only for him portraying the daddy and
because he's
that-
light-skinned.
yeah, exactly.
Because he's
But I'm
also-
talking about the dad's method as far as how he trained his daughter.
he was abusive.
He was
King
he was on
Richard.
some Joe Jackson
He
shit.
was Joe Jackson,
And I want
right.
to see and we've in a lot of Will Smith movies, what does that meme you always see? He's always
You're right.
at the end of the movie, he's always saying, I'm trying to go save the world. Like we gotta go save the world. Like he's always playing a good guy. Even in
right.
Suicide Squad when he's a bad guy, he's trying to be a good guy.
Save the
We need to
world.
see I wanna
You
see
need
Will
to
Smith.
save your goddamn career.
I want to see.
And quit
I want
fucking
to
playing
see
with
Will
me.
Smith as a bad guy or portraying bad qualities.
and antagonist and someone. This is. I feel like this is his. This is what I mean by risk-taking role. Think about it: black man, father, raising two prominent athletes, some of the greatest athletes the world has ever seen. Not only that, but to portray them, but to be that antagonist, that kind of
Yeah.
not really villain, but you know what you have to do to gain success.
Exactly.
You know, there are no shortcuts to it. And it's like Serena and Venus will tell you that Daddy King Richard was the way he was, and they are the way they are because of how he was.
Yeah.
So it's just like this is the most this is it really for
He
me.
he needs more and that needs to be as far as for method acting. I feel like a couple of last minute films that as far as for moving forward, the films that Will Smith needs to attach himself to. Yes, those kind of like those roles,
indie movies,
biopics,
low cut, right?
low cut, but a great story behind it where he can really display his versatility. I think that's where he really shines the most, and like really telling untold stories. Like that Pursuit of Happiness was an untold story, and he really did a great job. I heard he did a lot of interviews, a lot of research.
With Chris Gardner,
And following up with that, another thing I'll say, another different type of movie he can attach himself to that I think he would be successful is if he had, like I said, a great supporting cast around him. Essentially a box office flick, but he needs to go ahead and do the soundtrack. A lot of it's successful.
Will,
a lot
you're
of it's
You
successful.
are reaching. He doesn't.
A lot of it's
he
successful
doesn't need
films.
to, but
He doesn't need
his
to.
point does have
A lot of
merit.
successful films. He actually did the soundtrack. Men in Black got nominated for a Grammy. Wild Wild West got nominated for a Grammy, whether you know it or not.
And-
I'm just saying, if he
Oh my God! I'm so glad you brought that up.
sometimes he could be too versatile for his own liking.
Even though his best
But-
films don't have that, but
His best movies are when he's not being Will Smith.
that is true.
Okay, fair. But I will say that if you add that element,
no, it's not.
if you
Hitch.
add that element, if you add that element to his his acting and his moving forward on his movies, I think you'll get a different reaction. We haven't heard a Will Smith soundtrack plus the movie come out in a long time. I think that would be a different
Yeah,
element.
I think
we
it
will all be
plays
interested
into
in.
what we were, and I think it plays into what we were talking about earlier, how those two intersect because you're more invested in the film, in the project in general. If you're also doing the soundtrack for it, you're on both sides of the spectrum.
What if Will Smith got production from like a Mike Will or got like Kendrick on some shit? Like
He could have done that on Bright.
He could have
done that on
dope
Bright.
No one will do
some
that.
dope soundtrack. You're listening and watching to that film.
But listen,
Kendrick
li-
Lamar would never do
But
that.
listen, life
We said that with Will
Mike
Smith
Will.
and Cisco, and look what happened. Banger.
Cisco would do that ASAP.
just like Will Smith
Cisco.
knows,
Who
just
the
like
fuck
Will
is
Smith
Cisco?
knows, life is not about the amount of breaths you take.
All right,
it's
bro.
about
You gonna do
the
another
moments
shitty
that
quote?
take your breath away. Hitch. But to play into your question,
I hate
To play into your question,
Out of all the great films we mentioned of Will Smith, you mentioned all the worst quotes. You have a quote from Pursuit of Happiness. You have a quote from I Am
yes,
Legend.
don't let anybody tell you what you can't be or can't do. Not even me. Pursuit of Happiness.
Well, he need to take his own damn advice.
That's when he gave. Hey, that's when he gave. That's when he gave me that. Ouch.
Yeah, instead of a
He
pursuit
does
of a
take his own.
paycheck.
He does take his own.
I'll tell you
advice.
this.
He don't listen to y'all.
I'll tell you this. At this point in his career, Jada Smith might be on his ass. Jada Smith might be picking
right.
better roles
You
than Will
talking
Smith.
bullshit.
Okay, let me tell you what I want to see Will
Bullshit.
Smith.
Right. The
Fuck.
greatest thing that Will Smith has done in the past decade was
Jada better chill out at
hooking
that
up
red
with
table.
Margot Robbie.
I want to see another. That
that
was
didn't
one of
even-
his good big wins, but I want to see Will Smith in a thriller again, kind of almost in maybe in a detective role, just like he was in iRobot. I like him in that role.
But do you think Will Smith can ever take the back seat to a role? Like instead of being the main headliner?
What do you mean, like a
Aladdin.
like a Brad Pitt to Leonardo DiCaprio in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Correct. Do you think he can do that?
No,
I feel like he can,
Now,
but
if
his
he does-
presence doesn't allow him to do that.
I was gonna say his wife won't, because she'd be like, you need to continue making A-list
No,
money.
and that
Now-
movie,
now,
that
what
movie
I'm
was
saying-
boring.
What?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Shut your ass up. But like,
No,
what I'm saying is,
for him,
That movie was boring.
I can see why he would say that.
okay. But like, you have to understand, Will Smith at this point in his career, he might need to do something like that.
Well, I think Willie was going on, like, he works better with ensembles. Like, he shines, like,
And-
in Ali.
like
it's
not as big as him, but like
was Jamie
supporting
Foxx
cast.
better than Will Smith? And
I have Jamie Foxx as a better actor than Will Smith, hands down.
I will agree with that too.
I don't know if it's hand down.
You can't apply the same
Hands down.
standards that we are applying to Will Smith, because Jamie Foxx, not only is his catalog shorter, but he has more worse movies than he has good movies too.
Once again,
He's won an
Jamie
Oscar,
was
though.
a sing.
So
Exactly.
what the fuck?
That
So
says
what?
a lot.
So that one peak, all of a sudden now it justifies his whole catalog.
His
It
peak-
Because
justifies
you're not
him.
judging it Will Smith's catalog the same way.
It justifies him being a great actor.
his peak is higher than Will Smith's peak.
Okay, but what does that mean? What have you done for me lately? What has Jamie Foxx done for you
So
lately?
you're only judging him. I thought you said you weren't judging.
I'm not.
Will.
I'm applying that. You're applying two different types of thinking.
No, I didn't say he was hands down a better actor. I said I would say he is a better actor, though.
That's you saying hands down he's a better actor. What do you mean?
No, it's not saying hands down. Hands down means there's no competition. Like, it's not even a question.
I think he's better, hands down. At this
I think
point.
it's- I think
After
it's
seeing
You're
hard
just
Gemini-
saying he's better.
After
I
seeing
get-
Not
Gemini
saying the
Man,
words
bro.
hands down.
It's like
and you
it's
think
like
that's a different opinion.
no, it's just like if you're
After
saying
seeing Gemini Man,
it's like saying who's
Devil's
better,
a liar.
KD or LeBron James. Like, you can pick one or the other, but it's not over the top. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 1 and 1A.
I mean, if you say one's better than the other, nigga, they're over the top. What you mean?
It's not by that much. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, but you think Jamie Foxx is better than
I got
Will
Jamie
Smith?
over Will just for the record, but nevertheless, Will needs to put himself in those type of roles where, like I said, a biopic, a small story where a story needs to be told, and he can really bring that out. Or he needs to get with a box office, a nice supporting cast. He does the soundtrack, get some great shit behind it, something interesting and intriguing. Where, all right, I gotta show up. You know what I'm saying? I gotta hear this. This sounds too good. It can't be bad. And he really can't fuck up from that, bro.
So you all
Or he can't afford to fuck up from
Ray was better than I Am Legend, Pursuit of Happiness. Will Smith's
Yes.
best performances. You think
Yes.
Jamie
that.
Foxx
Ray was
was
better than
Ray
Pursuit
was
of Happiness. I can
Any
say
Will
that
Smith you
hands
mentioned,
down.
Ray was better than that.
Hands down.
No, it wasn't better than Pursuit of Happiness.
It was.
I'm not,
If
I'm
you-
not giving him
that's-
that.
that's your
Look at
opinion,
Look
though.
at
I'm not giving him
look at
that.
Jamie Foxx's next movie coming out, Just Mercy, about playing that convict trying to get clemency from execution. Have you seen the trailer for it?
I haven't seen the trailer.
No,
I
if
heard
it's anything
about
like
that.
Law-Abiding Citizen,
Jamie
count me
Foxx
out.
It's
looks
with Michael B. Jordan.
Amazing in it, and it's just like that's the thing. Jamie Foxx has figured it out
That
about
Jamie-
being a
What was Jamie Foxx's last movie? I forgot. What
Jamie
it was.
Foxx and Michael B. Jordan. That may be a nice little combo there, bro.
It is. That's
Get
the
him
thing.
with Will Smith with Coogler, or get him with Peel on a thriller. Get him. Like,
I would love to see him in a
switch
horror
it up,
film.
bro.
I've never seen Will Smith in a horror film.
Like,
If he-
switch
Have
it
you ever
up.
seen Will Smith act next to another black person in a movie? Another prominent black actor?
Yes.
Martin
Martin
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
That's more. That's a comedian.
Thank you for
I
the
give it to
joke.
you, though.
Y'all really played it. In. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll give
Before,
it to you, though.
as we're wrapping up, my last question is that there's talks of there being a spinoff of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, possibly being called the Fresh Princess of Bel-Air.
No, thank you.
I swear to God, bro.
What has
oh
Jamie
my.
Foxx done in the past 10
I-
years besides Django? I'm looking at his that's all. I'm just looking at his filmography. That's why I'm asking that.
Oh,
No.
I mean, my
I mean-
question is, are y'all interested, since we love Fresh Prince so much, are y'all interested in the spinoff?
Did
If
the mic not get me that time? No thanks.
No,
Is Hillary in it?
no,
Ashley?
stop,
Is Hillary or
stop,
Ashley?
bro.
Shit, the dark skin.
No,
Viv?
Nah,
Fuck,
she hates
no.
Will Smith.
Let
Oh, yeah,
it,
she
bro.
does.
Let the shit die. They tried this shit with Boy Meets World. They tried that shit with That's So Raven. They tried this shit. Then they tried this shit with the Cosby Show.
I ain't heard no
Oh,
fat
God.
lady.
Oh, God.
Hey, his ass in jail.
What is that from?
Independence Day.
Wow, he just throwing shit out
The
there.
fat
now.
lady's singing on his career right now. That bitch Ben's
Thank you.
bellowing.
These are very
These
are very relevant.
Let the spinoff die. It's a waste of time,
What
waste
if
of
it's-
money.
what if
I'm
it's-
not
what
watching
if
or
it's about-
supporting.
Never drum on a white lady's boobies at a white redneck dance. Got it.
Quincy Jones is damn near dead. Quincy Jones damn near dead.
Chill out, bro. Don't speak that on Quincy Jones.
Uncle, he is Uncle Phil. R.I.P. He's
R.I.P.
not
Roger
here.
Avery.
Well, like, what's the Are they? Fresh Prince has a daughter.
No, I was
like,
gonna-
what happened?
What if it's a spinoff where it's like, you remember when Jeffrey left to go be with his son? What if it's like Jeffrey, his time at when he left, and
Oh,
like with his
shit.
son and shit
That
like that.
sounds
Just like a
boring
whole
as
different.
fuck.
My nigga, would you
That sounds
care about
awful.
that? That sounds god
Sounds
awful.
Jeffrey, we always talk
as
about Jeffrey.
Fuck Jeffrey.
Jeffrey was an underrated piece on
Fuck,
that show.
he was all what he needed to be. A witty butler. No more, no less. Now take your shit and go. Nobody gives a damn about
So there's
it.
no ain't. You
What
don't
is
want
your
to see
thing
little
with
Nicky grow up.
butlers, bro?
Fuck Nikki. Have you seen him in real life growing up? He like a crackhead. Are you serious? The nigga like a piece of shit.
Remember off Scary Movie 2 when they opened up Marlon Wayans' head and he had a little. He was like, this is your brain on drugs.
That was him?
It looked like
Damn near.
Oh gosh.
Who's the midget who passed away almost 10 years ago? Gary Coleman. He like Gary Coleman,
Bruh,
but on drugs.
Don't do
Gary
Damn,
Coleman
bruh.
as a midget, bro. Chill out. It's Gary Coleman, bro.
I ain't trying to. This supposed to be a pro black show. I'm about to say fuck all these. Let me shut up. Let me shut up. I can show you how I truly feel about Gary Coleman. Fuck.
All right. Any last words on Will Smith?
I like Cole B's.
What should Will Smith take away from this conversation?
I think collectively, pretty shitty career so far. And
Hell no. Will, keep doing your
wow.
shit. Keep
this
doing
is coming
you.
from the guy who likes Harold Kumar, likes to go to White Castle.
hey, fuck you, man. All right, looking like
That's
Vince
his guy
Vaughn.
He swears by
Whatever,
John
man.
Wick series.
Right.
He says
All
the
right,
best
all right,
trilogy.
all right.
He
But
says
we
the
will
best
get-
trilogy
I-
he's seen.
Yeah. So is it going to be better than
But he
the
won't
Bad
be-
Boys trilogy?
Yes.
Hell no.
No, wait. John Wick 3 is going to be way worse than the Bad Boys
Are you
trilogy.
s-
It already is.
It already is. Seriously.
Just those two movies
That
alone
piece
are
of
better than
shit,
John Wick 3.
Keanu Reeves.
Suave, what do you want Will Smith to take away from this conversation?
You're trash.
I want Will
Reeves.
Smith to do what one
Hold
of y'all
on.
suggested, which is bend to the will of at least one major director before the career ends. Let that director make your performance rather than the other way around.
Wow, so you're on our boat now.
No, y'all are talking about his career in totality. I'm just saying what I want to see him in next.
All right. Oh.
What was the question?
What do you want Will Smith to take away from this conversation?
Shit. If it's a will, it's a way. I'm spending my money on your ass. I'm hoping that
he
you
was
gonna
saving
do
that
something.
all night.
I'm just shit, Will. You know, I just want you to realize that it's more than you when it comes to acting. I want you to realize that you can do better roles and that we will leave your dumb ass and stop supporting you. I'll watch you on Instagram. I'll support Jada Pinkett Smith. Hell, I may support Jaden before I support your ass. But if I see one more bullshit ass movie, bro, I'm done. You ain't fresh no more.
Y'all hype,
You ain't a prince, and you damn sure ain't in Bel Air. Okay? Quit the shit. Actually get a good role and execute. I'm not saying he's not going to show up and does his job because he always shows up and has a good acting performance. But as far as for picking roles, you are shitty, bro.
If I have something
You
to
are
give to
shit.
him right now, and honestly speaking, don't be Will Smith in your next role. And I just want to see what that role is.
Real talk.
I just don't incorporate anything. Don't talk about Phil Jackson or the Lakers. Just be that person.
Be
you don't
the
have
role.
To, you don't have to incorporate a little bit of, okay, I'm gonna be Richard, Serena's dad, but I'm gonna do my own twist on it. I'm gonna throw a little Will Smith in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a little
No,
love.
yeah.
I'm gonna throw a little love in it.
Yeah.
What's love got
Yeah,
to do with
yeah.
raising two black daughters on your
In Compton. Yeah.
in Compton?
Yeah.
I don't want to
I
hear
don't wanna-
about
I
love,
don't
my
wanna
nigga.
see that. I
I
don't
want to
wanna
see
see
drive-bys and you still outside singing. Serena,
You better
did I tell
you could dodge a
right, you better
yeah.
dodge a bullet. You
Yeah,
better dodge a ball. Get your ass up and
It's-
do it again.
It's 40 love,
I
girl.
want to see that
It's
shit.
40 love.
There ain't no love. This is 40 love.
For the love.
At least for me, what I want to
Take your ass
I'm gonna say,
outside.
I'm gonna say for this for Will Smith, I respect you as an actor, as a representative of the black community when it comes to just films in general. I think you are historically you're one of the greats, but I do want to see better from you. Like Ali said, like Swaf said, I want to see you challenge yourself in these roles. And from a fan perspective, going to Willie's point, I probably won't support any more of your films if I don't see that quality of work moving forward. It was already hard for me. It was hard for me to even go see Gemini Man. 'Cause I tried to get the Frames Per Second podcast to do it, and they said we not doing that shit at all.
No way.
So I want to see better from you because I want to be able to promote you as much as possible to anyone. But for me, even though I'm trying to support black people and black films.
I'm trying. Like God,
if they're shitty films, then they're just shitty films. So I just want to see better from you.
I supported you. We were fighting for you, Will.
We were rooting for
We
it.
were rooting for you,
Will.
and I left.
We should play that
disappointed.
Was it Tyra Banks?
And America's Next Top Model shit. I got one last quote, and it's probably the best one I got.
Oh, God.
We're closing out on this, by the way.
All right.
Hold on. Before he says that bullshit ass quote, all I gotta say is that King movie better be good, or his ass about to be USA Open. Okay, I ain't playing.
It better
Flat
be
out.
good.
But no, wait. Before you
Get everything out because this one's gonna blow the house down.
Like your nose.
Okay.
All right, sneezing. That suit's gonna blow off.
Okay. On a scale of Bad Boys 3, how excited are you? On a scale of 1 to 10.
You don't fuck with Bad Boys 3.
Yes,
obviously.
obviously.
Right, why are you asking?
No. I'm asking.
How excited are you for White Castles after you leave this podcast today? All right.
I'm gonna drive to Virginia tomorrow for a White Castle. So wow.
I'm a little bit jealous, actually.
All
But
right. So
nine.
I'm about a 6.
9.
You're about 6, 9. Okay. You?
You said 9?
No.
I said 9. Yeah.
Oh, 9?
Yeah.
I'm at about
Off the strength, you're so shitty, you got to be good.
And that's going
When
on.
I seen the trailer, that's when it kind of
That's off
died
the
down because
strength
I
of
saw
the
what
trailer.
Martin Lawrence looked like.
He
And
keep putting Marlon Lawrence.
Nah,
in
he
there,
do, bro.
Martin Lawrence
Thank
looks
you.
so
I think I predicted this on
terrible.
the
Man,
last
your nose
podcast
look
I was
terrible,
on.
nigga. You gonna quit talking about my nigga
Bro,
Martin Lawrence,
Martin
bro.
Lawrence,
I'm sick of that shit.
His look alone ruined the character. You cannot have a trend like he has to have a crazy explanation for why he looks the way he does in that movie.
And
he must have got divorced. He must have got something else. You said it was health conditions. It better be.
If it is,
Wow.
You
if
probably
it
ate
is
the dog.
If it is, I hope he gets better. But right now, he's built like Junior from the Cleveland Show. So I need him. I am.
Wow.
I am.
He's
not-
built like
Wow.
he's built like the fat kid from Bad Santa.
These niggas need Jesus.
He's really looking like Big Mama.
He looked like the lady that said that from Bad Boys 2. Look like
Wow.
the lady. Right. That's a
Wow.
good time.
Speaking of Bad Boys 2, you a virgin? You ever made love to a man? You want to?
You're gonna end it on that quote?
Really?
Are you serious? All right.
The best quote we got.
That's us for this week.
You ever
can
made love to a man?
You can follow us at 513. Hold on. You can follow us at NDR 513. That quote just threw me all off.
Oh, gosh.
On IG
Actually,
and
I
Twitter.
missed one.
Wow. Throw it away.
They throwing cars. How you not seen that?
And
Bad
we're-
Boys 2.
And I wouldn't be surprised if you guys threw this podcast away based off of that. But we hope you subscribe. Tell us where we were wrong. Tell us where we were right as far as Will Smith's career. And that's us for this week. We out. Peace.
One last one.
Do say.
He better had some damn good pants.
Will, you a bitch ass.
Pursuit of happiness.
If you got this nigga quoting this, you a bitch ass nigga. Will, it's too far.